was a comment that was made on Facebook the other day about being a submissive woman. They were saying that a submissive woman controls her man, and I agree with that. I think until we begin to talk in honesty and transparency and stop pandering to both sides, especially to the sisters, because there is so much entitlement, and because men have been quiet for so long, and it's been the men that listen, the men that doing the most talking ain't the ones, they don't have nothing to say anyway.
What's good? It's your boy Quay Price, man, holding it down for Kandid Konvos. Definitely check us out every Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. People today, they lazy. Ain't nobody trying to put in no work. If stuff start getting a little rough in the relationship or in the marriage, ain't nobody trying to fix nothing. That's how people's mindsets are today. Yeah, but that's how I know that folks don't truly understand what marriage was about, because they tap out way too easy. Yeah, you see people fight harder for a job, like they can't go get another one of them in 2 weeks. Yeah, she's talking about these guys coming to these foreign countries and sourcing out these foreign women because they possess these character traits. Yep, they're more cooperative when it comes to a man, or they're more cooperative when it comes to a marriage and a relationship. They're more, nurturing forward when it comes to a relationship. They're more I don't even want to use the word soft, but I'll use the word soft. They're softer when it comes to, these relationships and interactions with men and so forth. And like I said, we definitely got to be honest. We see a difference, right? We see a difference. And I think, Chloe and Tay made some good points earlier. A lot of this stuff is based around money over here in the West. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Kandid Konvos. I'm your host, Quay Price. Man, we got Coco on deck tonight. We got Vince on deck. We got Cole on deck. Say what's up to the people, y'all.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the show.
Hello.
What's going on? Appreciate y'all hopping on with me tonight, holding me down on the panel. Let me check these comments real quick. Shout out to Isha Powers in the building. She said, Quay Price, what's going on, Isha? Appreciate you all hopping on with us tonight, holding us down.
Hi, girl.
Shout out to Kenyatta in the building as well. She said, happy Wednesday. What's going on, Kenyatta? Appreciate you joining us tonight, checking us out, supporting us every Wednesday night consistently. Appreciate you. Shout out to my guy, Donovan. He said, well, hey, what up, though? What's going on, Donovan? Appreciate you hopping on with us tonight as well, man. Let's see. We got the real one in the building. Say hello. What's going on in the room? Appreciate you hopping on with us tonight as well, holding us down. All right. think that is everything. Let me just make sure real quick before we get into this, man. If you haven't already, do us a favor, smash that like button. Likes are free. Smash that like button. I said that is how we get seen, man. Y'all gotta understand these algorithms, these formulas. It's just all type of stuff nowadays. So you can't just come on social media and drop some great content and get seen by people. Like, it's all these little tricks, these little trades. So yeah, man, smash that like button. I said that helps us get seen. And also, let's say hit that share. I said that's always the best. Hit that share. I said that gets us out to, people that you're tied to, so they know what's up. So I said definitely support us that way. I said that helps us grow the platform. And I said once again, we most definitely appreciate it. All right, let me do this real quick as we get into this conversation. So here's the link to join us on the panel. You can drop this in your Google Chrome, your Microsoft Edge. For all my Apple traders out there, go ahead and throw this in your Safari. I'm an Android guy, my bad. Throw this in your Safari, you know what I'm saying? Join us up on the panel. But yeah, man, don't be scared, man. Come join us, man. Let's say and everything pans out. We'll let you up on the panel with us. We got trolls now. So folks be doing things and trying to trick us to get up here and play their music. It's all type of stuff be going on. So let's say we have to be very selective on who we let up. But yeah, join us on the panel, man. Don't be scared, man. All right. See, I'll leave that up here a little bit as we get into the conversation. Let me see what else we got. See, Big Box just hopped on. JR just hopped on. What's going on, fellas? Everybody quiet. What's going on, man? I'm like, everybody quiet tonight. We're wintertime JR at. JR, you on here, man?
Yeah, no, I'm alive.
Yeah.
No rain tonight, so yeah, it's all good.
All right, cool. Good to hear, man. Good to hear.
Hey,
All right,
Quay,
what's up, man?
I seen the topic. I was talking to Raymond. I said, they done put the bat sign out. The game needs me. Put me in, coach.
But no, for sure. Glad you hopped on. You got a video in here, man. One of them you sent me. Well, actually, two of them you sent me, man. So yeah, we got a couple.
So hold black tight. Marriage. I said I got to be on this one.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it. Let's see. You and Cole got some videos down here. All right, cool. We're gonna get on into it. All right, I'm gonna drop this link. Let's say if anybody who needs this link is in all of the chat feeds as well. So you can catch it at the Kandid Konvos page on YouTube or Facebook and grab that link. Let's say it's in both of the chat feeds. All right, we're going to get right on into it, man. We ain't going to hold it up, man. Once again, if you ain't hit that like button already, hit that like button, man. Y'all got to stop being stingy with them likes. All right, so we're going to go and get on into it, man. Topic for tonight, Black people struggle with marriage. Man, that was quiet. Hold on. Wait. That might be my stuff. All right, run that back. Topic for tonight, Black people struggle with marriage. Okay, so yeah, we got a few down here. So yeah, I'm gonna start off. I don't know. This one might be the most controversial. Yeah, I'm gonna see what y'all say.
Worst thing a woman can do, statistically speaking, is to get married to a man. Married women. Worst thing a woman can do, statistically speaking, is to get married to a man. Married women do not live as long as single women. They do not earn as much money as single women. They are not as happy as single women. They are more likely to suffer from addiction than single women. They are more likely to commit suicide than single women. They are more likely to die of homicide than single women. They report themselves in every single way that you can measure sociological data for wellness as being less contented than single women. Conversely, married men, on the other hand, married to women, outperform single men by such a measure that it is perhaps the healthiest thing that a man can do is to get a woman to marry him. Married men live longer, they're healthier, they make more money, they advance more in their careers, they're more creative, they're less likely to commit suicide, they're less likely to die of homicide, they're less likely to die in car accidents, in every single possible way. The best thing a man can do is to get married to a woman. The worst thing a woman can do, statistically speaking, is to get married to a man, because what happens is it's called the marriage benefit imbalance. Those imbalances are exactly equal, meaning the percentage of herself that a woman gives to a man, she loses and he gains. So she's literally giving her life to him. Years of life, prosperity. It's a literal exchange.
All Okay, so that's video number 1 right there. Let me get this comment real quick. Donovan said, what? She just contradicted her own point. Man, drop me an additional comment, Donovan. I said this young lady is she's circulating. Yeah, she's circulating based on this video right here. So yeah, I figured it was coming my way to have this conversation. So yeah, like I said, tonight we're talking, and we got more, but Black people struggle with marriage. Okay, so I'm coming to the panel. Man, I see Coco came off quick. Go ahead, Coco, it's on you.
When are we going to stop? Okay, so I'm going to say this, and it's controversial, but guess what? This is our platform. So, who's going to check me, boo? But when are we going to stop listening to gay men and lesbian women for marriage advice? Why are we doing that? Why are we listening to women that don't like men and men that don't like women for marriage advice and for relationship advice? Like, that's crazy to me. And then for her to say that there's a mutual exchange, I'm with Donovan. Like, so that means that what she gives up, he benefits from. So what he gives up, doesn't she then benefit from that as well? Because if you don't believe that a man also has to make sacrifices in a marriage, then you don't understand the way marriage works. Because both parties have to make certain sacrifices. Both parties come to the table giving something. So if he gets to benefit from what she provides, then she also gets to benefit from what he provides. This is why I keep telling y'all about them statistics. Y'all love a good statistic. But this is why I told y'all to be careful with those statistics. I wonder how or if Black women were represented in those numbers. Because we have no way of knowing if the statistics and the studies that she's pulling this information from, how much representation Black women got in those numbers. How were we counted? How much were we counted? Right? Were they talking to divorced women or married women? Like, what are the factors to this study, and how large was the group, the subset for the study? Because then you find out that they pulled 1,000 women, and these statistics are based off the 1,000 women that they pulled for this data. This is why I said, don't get me wrong, I appreciate data, but you have to understand how the data was collected and how to read it and how to interpret it. Because if you don't, people can write all kinds of stories based off of a piece of data, and it's not a picture. It's not a full picture at all. There's no context at all. I am.
Okay, appreciate that right there. Cole, Vince, Beatboxers, JR, just come off mute if you want to say something. Let me know. If not, I hit the count. Go ahead, Cole.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. So the video said a lot. I do want to give a different thought. I think some things that were said I do kind of agree with, but in the perspective that the woman was not referring to a Christian marriage. So given a little bit more of a holistic view of what's kind of been going on and people's reasoning for marriage, I don't think she was referencing like a Christian marriage. I think she was maybe referencing something that's more commonly seen now, where she might give a view of that imbalance. I don't think she was referring to something that I think most of the people on the panel would agree is a marriage where each person mutually contributes.
Okay, I got you. I understand what you're saying. All right, I appreciate that right there. Vince, Beatboxer, JR, y'all want to say anything? Just come on mute, say what you want to say. If not, let me know, and I'll go get these comments. Y'all good right now?
Go ahead, Vince. My bad.
I was listening, Cody. I don't understand what she is saying by that. It's not a Christian marriage. Like, why
So
would you get that from that particular conversation? Because um, nowadays ain't none of them Christian marriages.
Come off, you on mute, Cole. If you want to respond, I know you respond. Go ahead.
True. Sorry if y'all hear noise in the background. I'm by a base, so it's planes flying everywhere.
You want me to give some context, Cole?
So I think when we talk about, I think when we refer to like Christian marriage, I mean, I think it's something that we're referring to, like people, are getting married because they think that there's a spiritual connection aspect of it. We are agreeing, to the terms that biblically what God has said, what each role should probably be to make that household function and potentially life purpose and things like that. I think some of the imbalances that she was talking about maybe could be a situation where they, like, the person or one of the parties may be married for money or something like that. So maybe that's why she's discussing, that type of imbalance. But I think if it's one that I think when we refer to like a biblical marriage, I mean, I don't think some of those issues would come up that she was kind of referring to. Or that she would say, like, the best thing a man can do is get married, and the worst thing that a woman can do is get married. Like, I don't think that would come up.
So you saying she wasn't really speaking to a traditional marriage? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, a traditionally biblical marriage.
No, I got you. I got what you're saying. Okay. You want to keep going, Vince? Or you good, man?
I don't want to browbeat Cole. I love me some Cole, so I'll just, because I get her point, but the things that she brought up happens in most of these modern marriages: money and the feeling of being unhappy. Because abuse is really not, in my perspective, abuse is really not an issue anymore. Where it's like most divorces are because of abuse. I think most divorces are because of money and feeling unhappy.
But right.
Which God says nothing about happiness in the Bible. I don't think you find happy one time in the Bible.
Okay, I hear that.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
I understand what you're saying, Cole.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. But I don't think a lot of these modern marriages are built on Christian values. Real Christian values. And I hate to sound like that, but everything is so fake now. People want to be Christians and still have babies out of wedlock and cheat on their wife, but they Christians. So
that's
I
a
don't.
problem.
I mean, it's such a great area with this Christian thing now. It used to be either you was a sinner or you were saved. You was gonna die and go to hell, or you was on your way to heaven. It wasn't really this whole gray area that we have found ourselves in now, where you can kind of play on both sides if your feelings are involved. I'm not happy in my marriage, so I can divorce somebody in the church I go to, find somebody else in a month, and get married in that same church and wear a white dress. And that same pastor that married my other husband is marrying my new husband. Where that happened?
That's real. Okay. I appreciate that right there. Appreciate that beatbox. I know you had that came off. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, my bad. I was actually looking at the stats that she was referring to, so I looked at like 5. So she's got a point. So the what she was referring to was they've done studies for men and women. I think it looks like it was like 100,000 people. So those who were happily married had obviously better outcomes. The problem is that a lot of people, let's be honest, are not happily married. So when you're not happily married and there's not like equal exchanges that she did say, and I've kind of referred to this before, when men aren't really doing the emotional, lifting and the mental load that they need to do, that they're not helping as far as children, whatever. Yeah, a lot of women do suffer when the man's not doing his part. So she does have a point there. I just think that ultimately it's something that Mr. Vince has said over and over and over and over again, is that people just need to vet better. That will just fix a lot of that. Hey, and especially for women, hey, if you have in her mind more to lose, then you might need to talk to your said person before. Hey, what do you think about cooking and cleaning? What do you think about helping with children? What's your ideals as far as like, love languages? All like, it seems as though people just get together. I feel as though a lot of people, Christians included, hook up and then they get married if it works out. Like there's no real like, it's just, oh, you look hot, you look attractive, or you got money, we get together and then we'll figure out the rest later. That's kind of how I see what's going on, and it's not really intentional. So she has a point, but there's like a correlation, not really a causation, if you guys kind of get what I'm saying.
Okay, no, I appreciate that right there. JR, see Civil just hopped on. I don't know if y'all want to say anything. Just come off mute if you want to say something. If not, so I'm gonna hit these comments real quick. Y'all good right now? Okay.
Yeah, I'll go to the comments. It's fine.
All right. So let me let's see. Kenyatta said, let's see, when a woman marries, it's stats. When a man marries, it's all good. Okay, appreciate that comment right there. See, Donovan said, married women are doomed in marriage, but men flourish in marriage. Yeah, that's how she's trying to present it. See, Kenyatta said, what community and population was she referring to? All, some, or most? Yeah, good question. Like I said, we always are missing some of the details to the stats. Kenyatta said, thank you, Coco. This is why I don't watch or listen to these buzz, hot topic social media influencers. Yeah, that's definitely key right there. I'm glad you said that, Kenyatta. See, Donovan said maybe this lady was basing her stats from same-sex marriages. Okay, appreciate that comment right there, Donovan. Let's see, Kenyatta said, let's see, an abuse can be mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, and financial. No, that's a fact. See, Kenyatta also said, Vince is, let's see, this is happening. It's happening in this anything goes society. Yeah, no, that's facts right there. It's definitely anything goes these days. But let me circle back for a second. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, let me circle back for a second to the video. Because I got problems with this video, right? So I saw this video circulating, came our way. So of course, we run from no conversation, no video. So we use them all, right? Whatever comes over and makes sense, we use it. So it's another one. So as I understand, this lady in the video, her name is Elizabeth Gilbert. And she was the writer of what's the movie, Coco? Or what's the book?
Eat, Pray, Love.
Eat, Pray, Love. So there was this popular book came out a while ago, hit big, went viral, did that whole thing, right? Did some back research on the young lady. It looks like she's been, for the most part, been in about 3 relationships. The first 2 were with guys, 3-4 year stretches. The last one, actually, no, the first one was with the guy. The second one was with her friend, which was a female. And then the last one was with a guy, right? So she's been in male and female relationships. Yeah, and I have issue with the video because I understand stats, but you're not pushing stats. Yeah, you pushing the narrative. Yep, and for you to try to say that the worst thing that a woman can do, because this is kind of, what I'm saying, I'm gonna leverage, Cole's point for a minute here. For you to try to say that the worst thing that a woman can do is get married to a man, yet we have a whole creation story that puts a man and a woman together. Yeah, so make that make sense. Yeah, you can stab me all you want. Yeah, but we literally know that our strength as people is together. It's always been that. And we definitely know the strength that comes out of a man and a woman partnering together and doing life together. Yeah, but anybody who's listening to this, I'm sure you've seen some examples. Now, I'm not saying that there's not bad situations that may exist in a marriage scenario or whatever. You know what I'm saying? To beat Box's point, a lot of folks are, let's just keep it a buck. They out here fugazi. Like you said, they getting together because somebody got some money and they said they're going to pay some bills and they'll figure out the rest later and try to make it official by getting married and all this other nonsense. Or we got, men and women that'll lay up with each other, create a baby, you know what I'm saying? Then be like, all right, now let's go get married. And it's just like, it's already starting off with issues, right? So when something goes south later, then it's like what you expect. Now, you ain't, y'all wasn't feeling each other like that anyway. Y'all just got together on some whatever you got together on. Yeah, but we've already seen the good examples when a couple is successfully married. Yeah, so with you trying to push this narrative, like the only person that benefits in this marriage is the man, and this lady just essentially just gets sucked dry. It's just like, what kind of narrative you pushing? Like, let's keep it a buck. Like, what kind of narrative you pushing? Like, even to her, I'll even take her point for a hot minute. I'm going to take her point for a hot minute. And I would have to ask her, so then what do you say to all the ladies who have divorced a man and now because of that divorce, they rich? What you say to that? So first you want to say that the woman, it's the worst thing she could ever do is marry a man. But then we got plenty of examples of women that have married men. Then they decided to divorce that man. And now they become millionaires and billionaires just off the divorce settlement. So now they're in a whole nother stratosphere of success than they were before they married that man. But yet you want to tell us that the worst thing that a woman can do is to marry a man. And he's the only one who benefits in the marriage. Yeah, it's like, man, it's the narrative pushing for me. I think that's really what's throwing me these days, because I see all these folks out here. And like I said, this video popped up. I commented on this video. Folks got hot in the comments. They wanted to come for me in the comments. Y'all know how it is. As soon as you put something up and they wanted to come for me in the comments. Yeah. They wanted to come for me in the comments. And I'm just like, there's just such a heavy narrative that I see today to try to keep us in particular, and I'm speaking to Black folks in particular, there's a very heavy narrative to try to keep us separate. Yeah, I see so many videos, so much content on why Black men and women should not be married, why we shouldn't be in relationships, why we shouldn't be dating each other. And I'm just like, have we not figured it out yet? Like, we ain't figured this out yet at this point. So I don't know, man. Let me be quiet for a minute, man. I'm gonna check back with the panel, man. I see we got JR. I said Civil down there. I see Alpha, the first one, just hopped on. Appreciate you hopping on with us. I didn't know if you wanted to say something, man.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hold on one second. Can you hear me? Yeah. Basically, if you can't hear me, let me know. I'm shooting on my camera phone. I live in Southern California, so I live in the mountains. I'm in SoCal. I live about 50 miles away from Porn Valley, so we don't have the best internet out here. So if you can't hear me, let me know.
No, we can hear you, man. So, just raise your camera up a little bit so we can see your face. There you go.
Okay, bet.
What you want to say?
All right, so here's the deal. You right now, marriage in America is pretty much on its last legs. All right, if you didn't know that, marriage is pretty much about to be out the door. And the reason being is because American government does not support marriage. Everybody on this panel, I presume, is either Gen X I'm Gen Y. I'm a millennial. I'm an 80s baby. You know, G.I. Joe, Saturday mornings. You know what I'm saying? And you got Gen Z. And so essentially, this happened before our time. There was something called a sexual revolution. We all heard that, right? And in the sexual revolution, who did it? Women. Yes, it was you, women. How you doing, ladies? Not you, but your grandmother and your great-grandmother. They did something called a sexual revolution. What does the word revolution mean? Revolt. You're revolting against something. You're revolting against the status quo. Well, what did the women revolt against? They revolted against the status quo to get married. How did they get married before the sexual revolution? And this is before my time, by the way. They had something called daddy and daddy came together and put two people together, sort of like a quasi, prearranged marriage. That's how it was. But there was one requirement to get married. One requirement that they didn't like, women did not like. And what was that requirement? And if this triggers you, I'm just telling you the truth. You can look this up. It was called being a virgin bride. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Look that up. And if you had sex before marriage, before the sexual revolution, and they found out that y'all did it, Jack and Jill, they got together and they said, oh, we know Jack and Jill got together, right? Guess what they would do? They would get a Bible, they would get a broom, they would go to the barn, and they would have something called a shotgun wedding. Look that up. Shotgun wedding. And they would say what? Put the broom in his back and put the gun in his back and say what? Jump the broom. That's where the word jump the broom comes from. And that's an old slave term. I'm from the South, by the way. I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. Okay? Now, women revolted against that. They say, no. We don't want to do that no more. We want to screw who we want to screw, marry who we want to marry. We don't want our fathers involved. So they had the sexual revolution. And so now that's how we all came about. I know I did. My mama might have made me on a Friday night. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Who knows? It wasn't out of love. So that's just reality. And so now you fast forward today, and now you see the results. See, this is the paradigm that nobody wants to talk about. Before the sexual revolution, you had low divorce rate, less women having babies out of wedlock. You had more people together, especially the Black community. They were really, really tight together. You had very little divorces. It wasn't perfect. I'm not saying it was perfect, but it worked. Now, before they had the sexual revolution, they said what? If you let women choose who they want, they'll have better marriages. They'll have less babies out of wedlock. They'll have less divorce. That's what they promised. And so people gave into it. Who gave into it? The boomers. The boomers gave into it. They still walking around, by the way. And so they did it. And now you have it today. And now they added one more caveat to it. One more caveat. And it was by Ronald Reagan. And what was that? No fault divorce. What am I trying to tell you guys? All this rolls up into what? The U.S. government does not care about your marriage. They don't care. It is the only license that I know of, there might be others, where you don't need a course, you don't need a degree to get something called a marriage license. They will give you a marriage license. That marriage license is designed for one thing and one thing only. Legally, you can make your spouse, your power of attorney. You can let them have your property. But once it's over, they can legally tell you how to end your marriage. That's what this is all about. Because before the sexual revolution, your marriage was regulated by who? Your pastor, your father, your grandmother, everybody was involved in the marriage. There was no between just Jack and Jill. They all went and got counseling with all those people. Now it don't matter. If Jill want to go to Coachella on Friday night in Southern California, where I live at, where the STDs are passed around every year, right? She can say, I want to go to Coachella. And Jack can say, I don't want you to go to Coachella. Right there, that's a problem. Right there, Jill got options. Because in the past, she would go to her father, and her father would say, what? Jill, that's it. Listen to your husband. You're not going to Coachella. But then Jill would say, oh, that's it. I can't go no higher than that. Because if she went higher, it got a more no. She went to the pastor, it was a no. She went to the government, it might have been something worse. But now Jill ain't got to do that. She can go to her father. Her father can say no. She can say, I don't care what you said. She can go to her friend Geraldine. Geraldine gonna say, no, girl, no. And that surprises her. What? Geraldine, that's my road dog. You know, all women got one friend that's really that close friend that knows all the secrets. And so she goes to the next person, her counselor, her pastor, whoever that might be. And they say no. No, listen to your husband. Jack don't want you going to Coachella. He knows about the STDs that's passed around every year. We don't want you going there. Jill don't like that. She goes to the final place, which is what? The U.S. government. And she goes see that judge. She goes see that that prosecutor, whoever it is, because it's called community property laws. And that judge say, guess what? You want to go to Coachella? Yes, I want to go. Here's your ticket. We'll divide up this property tomorrow. Have a good time. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. That's the problem. There's no regulation. You cannot tell anybody, male or female, how to regulate your marriage. And in order to have a marriage, you got to have the government backing it. So I predict right now, probably maybe within the next 5 to 10 years, I think the government is going to get out of marriage, because the reality is what? You cannot get two people together on just lust and expect it to last for a lifetime. We all know that's going to fade. It is what it is. So how do you maintain that marriage? Regulation. And women don't like regulation. I know they shaking their heads saying they naturally don't like regulation. When you start regulating a woman's sexual behavior, you're going to need a strong backbone. No game. Shout out to the game guys. Game will not get submission from a woman. It's called a strong backbone. I'm not talking about violence or domestic violence, but I'm talking about looking her in her eyes, and I'll land my plane right here and saying, hey, Jill, we not going to Coachella. And that's that. I'll let y'all have the flow.
Man, appreciate it, man. So you came out swinging, man. Appreciate that right there, man.
I'm a Leo, man. I don't know any other way. I'm the Leo. I'm the king of the zodiac. If you believe in all that, I don't know any other way to do it but to lead.
I ain't mad at you, man. Donovan said out for the first one. Welcome to the show. Applause. Yeah, no, brother was cooking. Appreciate that. Well, man, let me circle back to the panel, man. JR, Silver, I don't know if y'all want to come on in on it. What you want to do, Silver? I see you smiling, man. What you want to do with it, man?
Man, that was some bombs. I was like, dang. Came out firing. All right. But I will give you some pushback on it. The pushback is not in terms of how to lead and how to basically have that strong backbone. My pushback kind of comes from the amount of regulation and governmental influence. There is an amount of personal responsibility we need to have. And I think community is kind of where that starts from, and the community holding people responsible. I don't think the government needs any more influence on our day-to-day life and what we do, because legitimately our freedoms have been eroded at a steady pace since like the 60s. And it's getting to a point now where it's just ridiculous. When it comes to relationships and marriage, I think the one thing that we personally lack as a culture, and I do feel at odds sometimes having this discussion because I am a part of an interracial marriage, and I understand that sometimes that kind of prevents me from being able to speak on quote unquote black topics.
Like Yusuf?
Yeah, I've heard you mention it before. You know, and my wife is Latina, she's Mexican, so she's closer. She's a little bit closer, you know. But the reality of the situation is, a lot of times the lack of a strong cultural influence and the lack of a male role model who actually sets forth and puts down rules and regulations for both men and women to follow, it prevents men from being good leaders, and it prevents women from wanting to follow a man, because there's been no examples in their life of a good man that they can follow. And I know that was something that I had to struggle through with my younger years until I got older and realized, well, I can't do everything on my own. COVID was one thing that I thought was going to help people realize that, whoa, we need to either A, be stronger in community, or B, living further out in the boondocks to where we don't have to worry about people wanting to come and take from us. And unfortunately, our community, it seems like we did not get that message. We're not getting the message now that we're losing jobs at alarming rates. Food is getting expensive. Travel is getting expensive. The ability to be autonomous and not be under the under the authority of debt is something that we've all just kind of embraced and thinks it's okay. We need to get to a point to where we understand that working with two people is much better than trying to go about this alone. Because even if you have a household where both people work, or one person works and the other person maintains and takes care of the household, it's an easier life. And like we keep putting this high, ceiling on happiness, and happiness, it's great, but it's a really fleeting emotion. And we don't like to embrace the suck. We don't like to embrace the suffering. And I know when I'm on here, I kind of say that a lot, but it's like for me, when I was younger, I did find reverence in that. I found reverence in being able to sit and suffer a little bit, because I understand that the result, the victory on the other end would be worth it. And within our community, and like before I had my children, I really tried to be involved and to push with actual time and not just money. Like I really tried to help push and give a positive example to like my fellow young Black men and women. And it just gets to a point to where a singular message from one person versus what they get from the media, what they get from the music, what they get from the movies, it's just not loud enough. And I think that we as a community need to step up, and that would be the thing to help correct these, lack of marriage, lack of respect, and just honestly just an overall lack of progress as a community that we lost, once segregation was ended, unfortunately.
Can I respond to that?
Yeah, go and respond, then I'm gonna take us to the next one. Go ahead.
All right, I 100% completely disagree with you, and I'll give you my reason why. Number one, culture is what you do. Whatever you do on a daily basis, that's the culture that you do. If you wake up in the morning and brush your teeth, you got a brushing your teeth in the morning culture. If you wake up and run outside and you ain't brush your teeth and you got bad breath, you got a bad breath culture. So culture is what you do. But that has absolutely nothing to do with what you legally can do. That's the big difference here. That's the problem. I just told you that the sexual revolution happened. It's just, and I'm not saying you did this on purpose, but I find it amazing that people just don't want to talk about this. This was one of the most major events that happened in America next to ending segregation. Okay? And you did acknowledge segregation, but you don't talk about the sexual revolution. All right? Outside of America, they're still on the old dating standard, which is what? They didn't go through a sexual revolution, which is what? And I'm not trying to offend anybody, but it's what? Virgin brides. Yes. In some countries, they will unalive women if they're not virgins on their night. That's just the way it is. Now, we might say, that's awful. That's terrible. They are oppressing those women. But guess what their response is? I used to be in the military, by the way. So I've lived I'm a military brat. I've been all over the world. I've seen different cultures. And the key that I see is different governments, which is what you can legally do and cannot do. And the reality is this: when they look at America, this is what they see. And this is going to offend people, but I got to say it. Those men have less money, less political power, less physicality, because we are the tallest country in the world next to the Netherlands, I believe. The Netherlands have the highest height. And I don't want to get your channel flagged. They got less penis size. I'll just say it like that. But guess what they get? They get better high quality women, better marriages, and virgin brides. Who's doing what wrong and who is doing what's right? That's what they're telling their people. Look at America. Look at these people. Look at all the divorces they got. Look at all the single mothers they got. But we tell them, look how you're oppressing women.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's not about culture. It's about what's legally allowed to be done. You got to change the laws, brother. But go ahead.
If you don't mind, B-Boxer, can I address it real quick?
Yeah, do your thing, bro. I think you think me and you on the same type of time.
I believe so. I do believe so. I've had the opportunity to travel quite a bit in what I do. I'm not military, but I will like to thank you for your service. The thing that I find when you have governmental regulation step in, especially from older cultures like America, still brand new. We're still relatively new in the world stage. Trying to implement that level of control over a melting pot of people, it only leads to discontent. It gets to a point to where it would then become like 1984, where you have to clock in, you have to get X amount of water, X amount of drink, and it's all provided by the government. That's a really scary, slippery slope. When it comes to relationships, I myself and the group of men that I surround myself with, we were able to get relationships, marriages that are in line with traditional beliefs, ideas, and values. But that's because we did what we needed to do in order to qualify for that level of woman. And if you look at it socioeconomically, people that make more money do still maintain those traditional marriages, and that's here in America. Those are typically not the people, as long as it's like outside of entertainment, they're not the people getting divorced. They are the people having, you know, the 5 to 6 children. They are the people having a generational wealth that they can pass forward. It didn't have to come from control from the government. It came from people being accountable, wanting more for themselves, and seeing further than just their own lifetime, heck, even their own next week. It's people being able to have a name, to want to pass it forward, and have that name actually mean something. That doesn't take the government stepping in. And from countries I've been to, especially with the influence that America has, I don't know the last time you had an opportunity to travel extensively, but that's not a thing anymore. And that's in anywhere you go. That's any continent you step on. Those are all women who are going to be running game as well. It's just the game that they run is a little bit different, and we're not used to it. I'm not sure if I covered everything that you wanted to say, Beatboxer, but I do appreciate the disagreement, Alpha. Like, legitimately, I do appreciate that disagreement.
Can I give some pushback on that quick?
Hold on, Alpha. I got to get them in real quick. Yeah, hold on.
Go ahead.
Beatbox. I know you had came off for a minute, then I got Coco queued up. Go ahead, Beatbox, and I'm gonna come to Coco. Go ahead.
I'll be quick because me, Silva's the same type of time. Listen, my dad was in the military, so I traveled myself with my father. And let me tell you something. Women are women. I'm telling you, this concept of women not having sex and not being virgins, they doing it. Yes, they are. They are doing it. And the sexual revolution was not an American-made thing. It was a coalition of Western people. It didn't just happen in America. It happened in Britain. It happened in Scandinavia. In fact, because you mentioned Norway, right? Most of the people there aren't married. Mm-hmm. Most of the people in, I would say most of Western Europe aren't really even married. So this concept, to be honest, I don't want as a progressive political person myself, I'm very progressive. I don't want the government in my business when it comes to sex and marriage. I don't want anybody telling me what I need to be doing. That's not the government's job. And if you have to have the government to force women to do something, then what do you really want that woman? Is that what you want? Right? I find countries who do that to be backward. They're poorer. They're more religious. They have lower IQs. I mean, you could just look this up. Right? Countries who do this have fundamental problems. They're usually Muslim countries too. I've been to Morocco, right? I've been there. So yeah, I know. I was tatted up and everything. So that was rough for me. But that's the problem. If you got to force women to do something based on the government, then you've lost. It's over. It's done. You're done out here. If you got to force people like, hey, if you got to do this or else, okay, then it's over.
I got it. Let me come to Coco. Go ahead, Coco. It's on you.
I'll try to be quick as well. I just wanted to put this comment up real quick and just speak to that. I think that this is the thing. Like, it's not that the sexual revolution isn't relevant to the conversation. Okay, it's relevant to the conversation. However, I agree with Joe. Like, it's dead. It's dead because he's right. We're not putting that genie back in the bottle. We're not going back to that. Women are absolutely not going to. It's just not a thing, right? So it's not that it's not relevant, right? And it's not that it's not a part of the problem. It's clearly a part of the problem, but we can't undo that particular thing. We can't, right? So we're dealing with circumstances that, we have no way of going backwards. I would say this though. I feel like this particular thing here, this comment here, I feel like of all of the things that have been the most destructive, I feel like this is one, because you talked about the people going to the fathers and having that, and having the father, having the pastor, having these people as mentors and being able to go to them for guidance and counsel. This movement is what disbanded that to a large degree, because once women began to see that they no longer needed these men in place as a support system, as the village that they now complain about is non-existent. Once they started to see that that wasn't necessary anymore, because the government, right, stepped in and now wants to play pseudo daddy, pseudo father to them, then there's no incentive anymore for them to even seek out a relationship with a man if they can get the sex. Like you pointed out, they can get the sex as much as they want to. And if they have the baby, they can get the money too. So there's no real incentive for them to want to enter into a marriage, because they can still have their babies. Now the government can pay them to have babies, and they don't need to have a man there telling them what to do. As you pointed out, that the reason for the sexual revelation, them not wanting that, them saying we don't want that, right? The government actually enabled them to be able to do it successfully. So I think for me, that was when you start to see the breakdown in the community, when you don't have those strong support systems, when you as women, when you're missing that mentorship, when you're missing that male leadership, I think that's when you start to see the breakdown. That to me was one of the most destructive things that the government could have done. So I agree with Civil in that sense. I don't trust the government to regulate. I don't trust the government to have our best interests in mind. So with that being said, no, I don't want them to be more involved in my marriage. Now, I agree with you that I wish we still had, pastor involved. But then again, like Vince mentioned earlier, the church has also been infiltrated. So now we can't even trust the church to that extent. So where do we go now? At this point, it's going to take us policing ourselves and just going back to just wanting to be held accountable for our behavior and wanting to be held accountable for our own choices. That is one of our biggest issues today. I'm not saying that people we need to go back to a point where women don't have the right to make choices. Let them make choices, but let them understand that they then have to be held accountable for those choices. That's the breakdown. The breakdown is not giving them the right to choose. They should have the right to choose. Women should have the right to choose. The issue is no one is holding them accountable for their poor choices. That's right. The issue, right? So it's not an argument of was it right for women to have the right to choose or no. I mean, listen, I don't agree with a lot of things that women are doing these days. I, for the most part, believe that women are out of order. But I will say this. I don't think the answer is telling the government, because as you can see, they're going to do what's best for society at large, aka them. And that's keeping women single, keeping women working themselves, overachieving, and feeding the system. That's what they're trying to do. So they don't want women to be with men because that's a source of income that they lose. So right. I don't think that the answer is having the government be more involved. I think they're involved enough. At the end of the day, I think it's up to each and every one of us to hold ourselves and the people around us that make up our own community accountable.
Right. No, that's facts. Appreciate that right there. All right, let me go to the next one. Let's say we got a couple queued up down here. We go to number 2.
GMB film. So I'm gonna say it loud and proud. Marriage is not for men. A woman tried to hop in my DM the other day and she was upset because I put a post up saying that marriage don't benefit men. It don't benefit men. First of all, half of y'all don't even know how to be wives, or the bulk of y'all don't even know how to be wives. Y'all don't know how to cater to a man. Y'all don't know anything about being a wife. Y'all selfish as hell. And then a man decides to believe in you and make you a wife. And then as soon as y'all fall out of love, or as soon as the first issue comes up, y'all want to leave the man because that's what y'all do, because we're not going to act like women don't initiate more divorces than men, because men actually take relationships and things seriously. Do you know how many men who are miserable in marriages right now, but they still having the same conversation for the millionth time with their woman because they want to make it work, because they take marriage seriously? It be y'all women who don't take nothing, relationships, marriage, nothing seriously. Y'all be ready to bounce and hop on the next dick as soon as an issue arises. It's just crazy wild. But we're not going to act like marriage benefit men, because y'all be angry and bitter, and as soon as a divorce is on the table, now y'all want to take the man, y'all want to take shit that y'all didn't even work for. Y'all want to take the man for everything he got. Y'all want to take the kids from him so he can sit there and be miserable. It's just, marriage is not for men.
Okay, video number 2. So I think, Vince, that one came from you, I think, man. I think that came from you, Vince. What you thinking?
That was more of a comment on the lady who was speaking. I think a lot of these people are doing stuff for clicks. I mean, some of it was accurate, but it was more of, these single. My thing was where's your husband? You got a lot of comments, and then she trying to build her channel and try to build her followers. So a lot of that stuff be just, sideways, capping.
Yeah,
but
I agree with you on that, man. But see, that's partly why even the first video that we put up, are we even in this current day, are we even smart enough to see that though? Yep, are we smart enough to see that a lot of these folks who get on here talking, they talk about things that they don't even have? Yeah, to your point, Vince, you talking about this young lady. She not married, but she's talking like she knows. You know what I'm saying? And going back to the lady in the first video, she's been in relationships with men. She's been in relationships with women. But you sitting here telling a single, you sitting here telling a single woman, or pushing a narrative to a single woman, that the worst thing you can do is partner up with a man and be in a marriage with a man long term. Like, so it's wild to me, man. Unless I sometimes I wonder, are we smart enough to know that some of these folks, we shouldn't even be taking them seriously and listening to their information, because it's coming from a place that they don't really even know. They don't live that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think we're smart enough.
Okay.
Look at the pastors that we're following. That just mic drop right there. Look at the pastors that we are following. People want to find something that they can relate to, something that makes them feel better. And it's better for me to go with a pastor that's been divorced and then cheated on his wife and stealing money, because I can relate to that. So that's what I'm gonna follow.
Yeah, that's a good.
I don't want to change.
Point.
I don't want to change. I want to change. I want to stay the way I am. And listening to you, Mr. Bryant, and Mr. Jakes, and some of these other ones, they can relate to that.
Yeah, that's real. Nah, that's real right there, man. That's a valid point, man. I was hoping you was gonna say we might be smart enough, but
nope. Or
dang.
These Ponzi schemes. You give me $1,500 a day and I'm gonna give you $3,000 tomorrow. Cause that's what they do. You know that, right? That's what the other people do. So we should do that. That the whole Susu movement. I don't know if you remember that one.
Yeah, I remember
the
that.
golden flower. That's what the Nigerians do. They okay. Let me stop there.
I hear that, man. Let me come back to the panel, man. Man, Civil Beatboxing, Coco, Alpha. Go ahead, Alpha. Then we'll come down to JR next. He's been quiet. Go ahead.
Let me respond, because I got to leave. We're going to have a power outage where I live at. I live in the mountains, and they doing work because up here trees fall and bears kill people and all that stuff. So let me respond to the brother, the progressive brother, I'm glad you made yourself known. I guess like you could call me your political opponent. I'm a Black independent. I'm not Black MAGA, and I'm not a Black progressive. I'm a Black independent. So, and for the brother who's in the military, who's married, congratulations on your marriage to your nice Latina. I support that all the way. I hope you never have to learn what I know. I live in California, Southern California. Some of my friends I play basketball with are porn stars. Okay, some of my friends are. I'll just say you see him on Court of My Neighbor. Me and him got into it. He's on The Walking Dead. I won't reveal their identity. All right. So you might have seen me on some videos. I'm in SoCal. That's all I'm gonna know. Shout out to Beyonce. Anyway, all right. So the reality is this. Everything you guys are saying about culture and the young lady in the blue, shout out to you. You are feminist. I understand what you are. And that's exactly what the feminists fought for.
I'm not a feminist. I'm not a feminist. I gotta stop you right there.
Okay, well, I mislabeled you. I should say that you do
make
believe.
Assumptions. Please don't make assumptions.
I made an assumption. I'm wrong.
You. I did not label you.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm wrong for that. I apologize. I'm wrong for that. But essentially, what you advocated for is what feminists advocated for, which was giving women free agency over their autonomy to choose their mates. And that's fine. I have no problem with that.
Everybody should have that. Everybody should have that. Everybody should have that. It's no female male thing.
That's your choice. I'm not arguing against that. I'm actually in agreement with you.
Freedom. That's freedom.
I'm gonna say this. I agree with you. I actually agree with you. So as far as women having free autonomy and men having free autonomy, right? And men having free autonomy to choose their mates, I agree with you. I told you I'm a Black independent. I'm not MAGA. I don't have a religion. If I believe in God, but I don't believe in religion. I'm not a Freemason, but if you look up Freemason doctrine, I'm closely aligned with it. I don't believe in quote unquote a religion. I just believe in God. If you understand what I'm saying. So I'm not coming at you from a conservative position, and I'm not coming at you from a progressive position. Shout out to you, brother. All right. That's not me. I'm coming at it from an independent position, which essentially is this. I don't believe the government should be in relationships. That's my official position. If it was up to me, I would abolish marriage right now from the government. I would make it a private matter, and that's that. That's between you, your spouse, and whoever you consider your spiritual advisors, per se. I don't think the government should be telling people how to get married, what to do in the marriage, and how to end the assets. It is what it is. All right, I'm 40 years old. I own my own house. I own 4 cars. I'm worth over $3.2 million. All right, I'm finishing my doctorate degree. There's no way that I'm gonna, and I'm retired military. There's no way I'm gonna, quote unquote, marry somebody at this point in my life. And in 6 months, she could take everything that I worked my ass off for, got called educated lame for in less than 1 month. She can do that. It is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah.
I got one quick question.
Go ahead.
Do you have children? Do you have children?
Not that I know about. Not that I know about. Not that I know about.
Children?
Yes, I do. I do.
So how are you going to do that without marriage?
I'm going to do it called co-parenting. That's how I'm going to do it. I don't want to get married to my baby mama. Absolutely. And I know that's controversial.
Oh, man, you sound like a feminist.
That's controversial.
You sound like
as
a feminist.
I told you.
You sound like a
as
feminist.
I told you, I'm not a Black conservative.
Oh my God! Well, let me ask you.
Oh my God! It is what it is.
I have a question.
It is what it is.
I got a question.
Let me ask you a question. Come on, let me ask you a question. So, okay, say you have that said child, and 2 years later you have a heart attack and die. How are you protecting your baby mama co-parent if you're not married to her?
Well, whether you know it or not, when you serve in the military, you have to do something called sign a power of attorney. So I can always make legal documents that give my child and all my property. So that's easy. Number two, you don't know this. You would not have known this. I'm a product of
you can't give a child property.
Let me finish.
Okay.
Yes, you can. You can actually legally sign over your property. It's called a will, and it's called a power of attorney. So that's already on the books. That's nothing new.
So you
can delegate all your resources, assets.
Let me ask you,
so
you wouldn't want to protect the mother of your child if something happens to you?
I didn't say I wouldn't write her out of the will. I didn't say I wouldn't write her out of the will. You asked me about my child.
No. What I'm saying is, so you would put her in the will, which is a legal document, which is a government document, but you won't marry her, which is illegal and a government document.
No, I would not.
What's the difference?
I don't get. Yeah, what's the difference of?
I don't get that.
How your assets are split up? Like it feels like you have a specific issue.
Here's the difference. The difference is this. Here's the difference. In both situations, as far as me having my will and power of attorney, I have the power to delegate what I want to give to my baby mother and my child. If I get married to her and she gets a divorce and she divorced me, which she can because I live in what's called a no-fault divorce state, I don't have any power over what the government decides that she gets. That's the whole point. So as me co-parenting with her, I maintain all my assets in my name, and I can delegate and relegate what I want. Do you understand the concept?
She's still gonna get them. So when you die, she's still gonna get them.
No, because remember, I have to put her in my will.
So you won't in your will.
But you still kind of create a weird division. Like, let's say you die and you do that and all that.
But
I feel like you're still creating a weird division
why
between
feminists
the
exist.
and the child.
Wait a minute. You are the reason that feminists exist. You talk about a man jumping over the broom and taking responsibilities for a woman, but just because you got a couple dollars, you don't want to marry the mother of your children and protect her.
Did I ever tell you that I was against feminism? Did I ever say that?
By your rhetoric, you're against feminism. By your rhetoric alone, you're against
it.
I gave you a history.
I agree with you.
I gave you the history of what happened. I didn't give you my personal opinion. I gave you the history of what happened in this country. And I gave you an assessment of what I think in order to say functional marriage. I don't look, if you want to get married to the government, that's your choice. I don't have a problem with that. But for me, from a legal standpoint,
it just shows that you don't even appreciate.
I don't want to be married to the government.
Wait, hold on. Did you serve in the military?
Yes, I did.
Like,
yes, the government owns me.
Owned by the government.
If that's not married to the government, then I don't know what is. Like, you literally.
I would rather.
America.
I don't want anyone telling me what to do in my marriage or relationship with my spouse. I don't want that.
I don't understand this.
I want to protect my assets and resources.
So wait, why would you have a child? Why would you have a child knowing that you have this view?
Why wouldn't I have a child?
Okay, say if you
why wouldn't I?
I don't know. Why would you have a child?
Hold on, Vince. Hold on, Vince. Let me let Cole ask. Hold on, Vince. Let Cole ask a question. Go ahead, Cole.
I was just asking an honest question. With all of that, then knowing that you've reached this specific success, then is there a need for you to have a child?
Absolutely. It's called the biological imperative. Everyone wants to look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Everybody does this. It's a natural program.
Okay. So you're saying you would have a child just because you want to? Like, what? I'm just trying to understand. Like, is there like an innate need for it? In your case,
I think everybody has. It's biological. It's natural.
No, I'm talking about you though. Like, is there
Myself,
like a desire for it?
Yes, absolutely. Why wouldn't I? Why would I not want to have a child? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
The same reason
why
you wouldn't have the same desire and protections for the mother of your child.
I never said that I didn't want to protect my mother or the mother of my child. I never said that. I'm simply saying the institution of marriage in America right now, as it's set foot, it's not going to be beneficial to me protecting my assets and my resources. It's just that simple. I can't hear the brother. Can you hear me?
How about okay, now you said co-parent. So say she don't want to be your co-parent no more. She has your child. What about child support? She's still gonna
I have
go to
no
the
problem
government and get
paying.
your money. So you really, I can understand if you said you never wanted to have children, then okay. But since you're having a child, you're going to be responsible. You're going to be in the government. You think a woman is going to just let you co-parent with her and she don't have a vested interest in a $3 million man? Good luck. She will be crazy.
What I have a problem paying is alimony and losing half of my assets after a woman divorced me. That's what I have a problem with.
Well,
I know I'm a
was
black
gonna be you.
I would just say, so you have a child. Like, you
I
can't
just
get
don't live
everything
in
you
the
want
spirit
the way
of
you
fear.
want it.
That's very fearful. But I mean, if you want to live your life that way just because you got a couple dollars, okay.
Do you guys mind
But
if I interject
yeah,
really quickly?
all the statistics says that women file for divorce more than men.
So
It is what it is.
But
That's true.
Most millionaires are married though. Most making over most millionaires are married, especially black millionaires. They're married.
I'm not gonna deny that, but the reality is this: co-parenting. If you guys want to look this up, that's one of the fastest rising positions in child parenting right now. Co-parenting. It is what it is, and it's because of this reason.
How that works.
Yeah.
After 20 years, I want because
with numbers, man.
Because I come from a co-parenting situation, and a lot of people I know come from co-parenting situations. These kids is fucked up.
Situation myself.
Exactly.
Yes, I am. Yes.
Exactly. I did too. But I don't think not getting married is the answer.
I'm finishing my doctorate right now in natural medicine. I have a biology in a bachelor's degree in philosophy, a bachelor's degree in biology, a master's degree in science. I retired from the military. I own 4 cars. I actually got a hot rod Chevy I got to go work on.
Let me ask you a quick question before you give me all that, because I don't care about all that.
That's fine. You don't have to, but I do.
Why didn't you get married sooner before you got all these things so you could have built with your wife to where you wouldn't feel like...
That's a good question. The number one reason why I did not get married sooner is because when I served in the military, I used to be in what's called 82nd Airborne Paratrooper. All right. I did a lot of that crazy shit that people shouldn't be doing in the military. And I did not want to put a woman through that. It is what it is. I could not. I was in the military. I seen guys getting divorces, some of the best guys, some of my best friends. And it is what it is. Brutal. It's a very brutal thing.
Okay.
And that's not no knock on women.
Hold on. Okay, so you just slipped up. So let me mute you for a second, let's say, because I don't want us to get too hung up. We're gonna move to the next video in a minute, but you just slipped up. So you just said that you was in the military, you was doing some risky, questionable stuff, and you didn't want to put your possible wife through that. But then at the same time, you were saying that you would have a child with a woman, but then not marry her so that you can control how the money gets divvied out, like basically off your control. Is that what you're saying?
I can't talk. Can you?
Go ahead. You on mute. Come off mute. Come off mute. Hit your mute button. Go ahead. You just put yourself back on mute. You got to come off mute. Just press it one time. Just press it one time, then talk. Right there. Now go ahead.
Okay, can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, yeah, but I don't have a lot of time, but I'll respond real quick. Essentially, when I was in the military, I did not want to put anyone through what I was going through in the military because I seen it as I was in the military. And these men on the panel who served, they know what I'm talking about. They've seen the quote unquote, Jody got your girl, if they know what I'm talking about. I didn't want to go through that, so I just pretty much stayed single as a bachelor. Now that I'm out the military and I'm more stable and I'm able to be in one place, I'm in a better position now to be a actual functioning parent to my potential child. That's why I didn't do it. Because when you're in the military, you have to do something. You have to find what's called I forgot the legal term for it, but it's when you find someone that will take over your children if you so happen to die in combat. And I didn't want to do that. So now I'm in a position where I don't have to worry about getting deployed and going to some crazy place that I don't want to be. Now I have the finances to do it. That's why I'm choosing to do it, regardless. So as far as the brother response on child support, I've never been against child support. If the woman wants to get the child support, it's for my child. I don't have a problem with that. My main argument for marriage is that the government right now does not support the institution of marriage. That's just my simple position. And that's why I would consider abolishing marriage from the government if I could. That's just how I see it. I don't want anyone in my relationship but me and my mother's child and my family. That's it. Child support is irrelevant to me. I personally don't really care about that. I don't give a shit about that.
I got you. So based on what I just heard, Black people are definitely going to struggle with marriage. Yeah, but sometimes I think it's really based on our mindsets and the way that we think about things and the way that we look at things. I'm gonna leave it right there because I don't want to stir it up. But I know Alpha, I know you said you had to hop off, man. So I just want to make sure you was able to, you good to go, man.
Yeah, I'm good to go. Thank you for having me. And shout out to everybody on the panel. I hope I didn't offend anybody. And yes, Black independent, that's my politics. We are rising. So that's my opposition on that. Shout out to you, brother. We probably can have some political debates, but Black independent, baby, all day long. Y'all stay easy.
All right, appreciate it, man. Appreciate you hopping on with us, Alpha. All right, let me hold on one sec, y'all. Let me get myself situated. Okay.
I missed a lot, apparently.
What you say, Cole? Go ahead.
I missed a lot, apparently.
What you mean? What you mean?
Because I was gone for a couple minutes because I'm still at work. I'm in my office.
I got you.
So I'm like, I was gone for a couple minutes, and yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, I blame you, Cole.
Don't blame. Nah, no. Absolutely.
Oh
not.
man. Oh man. Yeah, this
Coco was going through it. Coco, your body language, you were going through it.
I just can't stand. This is my issue, y'all, and I know I get heated because I'm gonna just tell you, I picked up my discernment kicked in when he came on, and I could already tell that he was one of those. And what I mean by one of those is he's very much into the red pill rhetoric. He's very much into something wrong with American women and women. And he starts comparing us to these other countries, and then V-Boxer, you slice right that argument right through. I mean, it's just that's what he is, and I don't mean this to offend anybody that falls in this category, but this is just my personal belief. Anybody who wants to be independent, agnostic, to me, that's just you just can't commit. You can't commit. You don't stand on anything. You don't stand on nobody's business. You know there's a guy, but you ain't into religion, and you political, but you are independent. You just can't commit. That's why he kept flip-flopping all of his views. He would say something on one side of his mouth, and then he would come back and say something that contradicted what he just said previously. And I'm just like, it doesn't make sense. Make it make sense. How can somebody who literally, worked for the government and was property of the United States now all of a sudden have a problem with wanting the government to sign off on his marriage, but then at the same time made a whole argument about how the government needs to be more involved in marriage? You see what I'm saying? Right. It's like you're one of those, like you're looking for an excuse or a justification to feel the way you feel. Just feel the way you feel and own it. See, that autonomy that you're complaining about, you have that. That's how you can feel the way you feel and still live your life. Because of that autonomy that women fought and said they wanted to have, you have it too. You have it as well. So you can feel how you want to feel, think how you want to think, believe what you want to believe, worship how you want to worship, vote how you want to vote. All of that autonomy, all that freedom, you're enjoying it while saying that women shouldn't have it. But you're enjoying it. I'm not a feminist, but I believe that even God gave us free will. Dang. You see what I'm saying? Like, even God gave us free will, but you're saying we shouldn't have it. That has nothing to do with feminists. I just think people should be able to choose. Don't get me wrong. I also believe that people should be prepared for the consequences of their choices and then be able to be held accountable for those choices. That's the difference.
I didn't understand his point of bringing how
You up
our
next,
great
JR.
parents do, how we took accountability and married and took accountability for the women and the children. But then he say, "Oh well, I don't want to take accountability for the mother of my child. I just want her to be left out there and whatever. But I take care of the kid."
Cause
So
he
it
don't.
was like it was kind of double sided, talking out both sides of your mouth, because you're talking about men taking responsibility for their women, but you don't want to be responsible and marry the mother of your children, because this whole I don't want to get married, but I put her on the life insurance, I put her in the will, I put her in this. That's a legal document too.
The
So
whole
I don't.
aspect
And
of
then and then I think that and yes, if what he says is true, he what then sign a prenup.
I was gonna
If
say
you
he
that
don't like.
concerned about losing three, and this is why it's over for most women and some men. Your price is too high, and he feel like he has too much to lose to get married, which
He
I
also
still
he
don't
called him
understand. But okay,
he also called himself an educated lame. So that just off the rip, I knew it was like, oh, that
he
means
wanted them.
yeah,
When
he doesn't get women to tingle. He's weird. Women don't like him, and that's why he was playing both sides of the coin. He was trying to say, oh, women can do whatever, but everything you were saying is that you believe that women shouldn't have autonomy. That's what you were saying. You were saying countries that believe that are great, dude. Any country that gives people keeps people's autonomy away aren't great. They're not great countries. I don't know one country that's a great country where you're taking people's autonomy away. And people are like, yeah, that's where I want to live. I want to live there. I want to live in Botswana or China. Like people are like China will go there. I'm sorry, they're just not. I'm sorry. It's crazy work.
I personally think that he has a thing where he does not like respect women at all, but he wants what they can do, which is produce a child. And it is interesting as well that you again want to spread your seed, but don't want to provide the protections. Then do not have a child. And I would feel sorry for that child because he does not seem like he has the foundations of being a good parent, let alone an active one.
Okay. Appreciate that right there. Appreciate that, Cole. JR, I saw you playing with the mute button, man. You trying to say something, man? JR.
Yeah. Can you hear me, yeah?
Go ahead, man. You know there's a lot going on. What you want to say, man?
Boy. Oh man. Where do I even begin? Yeah. So basically, yeah, you lot pressed him, yeah? And hence why obviously you got, him talking out both sides of his mouth and whatnot. So obviously I was trying to break it down. You try and obviously understand where he's trying to come from, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. So obviously you've mentioned obviously, the whole revolution of what women revolting. Fine, I understand. And I've always said I don't like the whole control thing, right? Because I want us to actually be able to understand each other. And if we're able to understand each other, there's no such thing as control because we understand, because we're actually talking to each other, right? So because I understand where we are today, yes, women are gonna do what they're gonna do. And that's what I've always said. I actually prefer the Western world because women actually get to show you who they are. Because men, throughout our lives, we've been able to show who we are, right? All over the world. And because women are showing us exactly who they are, that's how it is. The whole control thing of back home and whatnot, oh, these women are better and whatnot. Boy, that's not true. That is not true. And beatboxer, yeah, just like you said about the whole Morocco thing, yeah. Yeah, maybe it's me. I was a bit naive thinking that, yeah, it's a Muslim country. There's no such culture like that, Boy, I met someone and we're talking. Yeah, a guy, sorry. And at the hotel, we're talking and whatnot. He takes me, to the club. He's pointing them out. Obviously, he's been there longer than me. He's like, yeah, paid about 150 for that. Paid them. I'm thinking like, damn. Obviously, I don't indulge in them kind of stuff there, right? So I'm thinking, 50. I'm thinking. He points at the next one. He's like, yeah, I bet about 250. I'm thinking, yeah, she's good. I hear it, and I'm thinking, okay, cool. This woman is putting a price on this. I understand you're playing the game, but this same woman is going to come from this country into a first world country, and she's gonna be the baddest of the baddest you gonna see. And you go think, oh boy, I got me a winner. Stop all this, whether it's red pill or whatever it is, right? Talk, wherever it is. Women are women, men are men. That's what guys need to understand. And to add on to that, so he's talking about, yeah, women obviously leaving men, obviously, sort of taking their things and whatnot, right? So I'm trying to walk it back down. It's like, okay, so you get married, whether you got money or not, whatever it is.
No, you good. Go ahead, Jar.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so so let's say whether you got money or not, you get married. Let's say you get into the money or whatever it is, and we always understand, right? Obviously, we're talking about the government and we're talking about the mindset. Okay, cool. I've always said we can't blame women for, activating or acting upon or taking advantage of the system. The system is the system, so we can't fault them for taking advantage of the system. That's just how it is. So if you want to play the game, that's on you. So if you get married, she ends up leaving you. You go through the whole divorce, kids, all of that stuff, right? So he's talking about the whole control element that the woman's gonna have because this system is in the favor of whatever is cool. So I'm walking it back down. I'm like, all right, cool. So you've not got the money. It's easier for you to obviously get a woman, get pregnant, have a baby, and you're able to control your assets, right? And then obviously we're talking about black people trying to get married. Mr. Price, where do we go here with the mindset? Because we're talking about women, right, with their mindset. And we've pointed at many times where men are obviously counteracting the women's mindset. And it's still going to keep us apart because it's not conducive to both parties. Men get married, she gonna leave you, you're gonna fight, men don't want to fight. Okay, let me reverse it. I'm not gonna get married, have a baby, then I get to control myself. And then somebody's still not covered. So somebody ends up losing there, somebody ends up winning here, somebody loses here, somebody loses there, when overall the kid still suffers. So with the mindset, so like I said, that's how I was trying to walk it down from getting married and not getting married. Where do we go from here?
You know what, man? I think just this is my position on it. The first thing we got to do is realize that once again our thinking is off. Yeah, part of the problem, man, is everybody thinks that their thinking is accurate. Yeah, they're not bouncing their mindset off anybody else. They're not bouncing their mindset off people who have achieved what they're looking to achieve. Like that's the first issue. Yeah, like just even the last, you know what I'm saying, last part of the previous conversation that we were having, it's just like we ready to go out here reckless as long as we get a chance to bring this baby in here that we want it. And it's like when I hear that, see, that's back to that transactional. You do this for me. Like that's that transactional mindset. That's that short-term thinking that I talk about. We never think long-term, right? So a lot of folks, the first step, like what do they say when it comes to like AA meetings and all of that type of stuff? It's just like the first thing is you got to admit that you got a problem. Yeah, but see, a lot of us don't think that we have a problem. Like we think that we think correctly and we look at things correctly, and even though we think void logic, like we think it's right. Yep, and that's the problem. And until you acknowledge that there may be something wrong with your mindset and your thinking, then there is no start. Like there is no correction. I said, I always say, look at self first. That's why I say that. Yeah, because at the end of the day, once again, most people are selfishly led. So they always think they right. Yeah, they don't never think they can be wrong. I said, I run into it every time I drop a comment on some of these posts. Like, I'm just going to keep it a buck. Like, you can't tell a lot of these ladies, you can't tell them nothing. And I'm like, lady, you got on a red dress, and she gonna fight you to the end of the time and tell you it's purple. It's like, no, it's red. It matched my car. It's red. I know it's red, but she gonna fight you to the end. And it's the same with some of the fellas. Yeah, I'm an equal opportunist. Same with some of the fellas. You have some of the stuff I just heard, you know what I'm saying, coming from a man. Some of the stuff I just heard, you just as reckless as these females. Yes, like we're ready to create broken situations for our own selfish needs. Yep, I'm ready to create a broken situation just because I decide I want a kid. Yep, and that's crazy work. But see, some people think they think that's right. And that's not right because you're not thinking about the kid. Yeah, so to answer your question, JR, man, until folks start looking at self first, yep, until folks get out of their selfish mindsets, we can't even begin to try to turn no corner. Yeah, we can't even begin, man. So, but let me keep us going, man. I had a cue down here, man. Let me keep us going. I gotta see who sent this over. I think this. Let me see.
I want a wife that will know exactly what.
This Cole right here.
I want a wife that will know exactly what to say when I'm broken and I'm confused and I'm up and I'm on the brink of destruction and I woke up to we're about to lose it all. And yet the covering of my wife and what she's saying and what she's praying over me gives me a level of reassurance that we're going to be okay when the whole world is crumbling in on me. Some of these want to get married. You don't even know what to say when I'm up. So you just hear. This dress ain't gonna make me feel better. Your cleavage ain't gonna get me through that I'm dealing with right now. The jiggle and the wiggle ain't gonna fix none of this. The wiggle ain't gonna pay the mortgage unless we go on OnlyFans. You want it because it looks good. But what do you do with it?
I don't have an OnlyFans.
What do you do with it once you have it? I can't wait to get married. Do you even know what it is?
No, that's good. That's good.
Okay. All right. That's the next video. So I know, Cole, this on you, Cole. I know you sent this over, Cole. So what you thinking about our brother Tyrese? What you thinking about that? Go ahead.
I think what he said was facts, and it was a real question.
Okay.
Real question.
I had a whole let me jump in here. I had a whole conversation on this. I don't know if you've seen this one, Quay. And I'm looking at Tyrese. First of all, you're not gonna find somebody that has something perfect to say. First of all, because we're dealing with human beings, nobody's gonna have the perfect thing to say. But then I look at Tyrese and I say, okay, you want a woman like that, but you married Instagram models. But you want her to be this spiritual, nurturing woman of vision and woman of clarity, but you married her because she's cute. And you dropped it to her DM. She's there for what she's there for. You married a trophy wife and you got what she gave you. He is a perfect example of marrying somebody and trying to change her.
I was going to ask you something. Did something change? I didn't know.
Great. But what you picking though, bro? What you picking? You ain't picking them type of women. All three of his divorces were influencers. It wasn't no, I met her at TD Jake's church and she, I'm just saying, it was an Instagram chick. Chick he with now is younger than him, a lot younger, and she's pretty and she's cute. She's there for a photo op. But then you marry her, and you are Tyrese. You're the breadwinner, you're the provider. She ain't trying to hold you down and trying to figure it out. She's there to be your trophy wife. That's what you got.
Hmm.
And that's what's wrong with a lot of people. They marry somebody and then they want them to change because, oh, they married now. Now he gonna be a provider. Now he gonna be this. But he was never that. Or you marry a woman and she ain't never cooked. She was getting her kids juicy juices and Cheetos for lunch. And now you marry and you think you go. So I just, yeah, Tyrese sounded good, but what you picking? And a lot of women was like, yeah, I want somebody who gonna do this. Well, you pick somebody that does that then.
Right. But you go ahead, Cole. I want to let you respond, Cole, because I know you weren't done with it. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say, yeah, I am aware about his divorce and things like that. So I was gonna say, based on this video, because I did have the question, like, did something change, or he's just saying that just for the camera?
Well, I think in his situation, I think it's both. I think with the lady he had the youngest, had the child with. I think that I forgot what her name was. But yeah, I know she like Vince was saying, she an influencer or something. So she be out here doing little posts and all that. But I think with her, I feel like he was saying she switched up on him. So she presented. That's what I'm just saying. What he said. She presented one thing. You know what I'm saying? They got into the situation. She changed up on him. You know what I'm saying? Divorced and did all this stuff. But then to Vince's point, after that divorce, then he gets with another young lady, which that's the young lady he's with now, and she's like some Instagram model looking lady or something like that. So it's like, did you learn your lesson? Cause this
it was actually one between it. It was one between that, Quay.
I ain't know that. Okay.
Yeah. It's one between that.
I got you.
This is like the third or fourth Instagram baddie chick.
Okay. So yeah, so I think the thing with this is, Cole, I say, because to your point, Cole, what he's saying is, I don't think there's anything wrong with what he's saying, right? So as a husband, you are looking for a certain type of woman. You're looking for a woman who's going to know what to say. You know what I'm saying? When times get hard, to know what to say when you're down and you need some support. And to his question, you know what I'm saying, do ladies today, or a lot of ladies today, even understand what they're asking for when they say that they want to get married? Because we understand, we see folks saying that they want to get married, but it's like, do they really understand, you know what I'm saying, what's involved with the commitment, or what comes with the commitment in a marriage, and basically in putting in the work to make it successful? So it's a valid question from him. But I think I would just say to him, or say to Tyrese in this situation, if that is what you are looking for as a man, then you need to be that man. Yeah, but I think that's where the problem comes in. I think some men today, they feel like they are that man because they have money. And that's not enough. You have to be that man who is going to secure that type of woman, and she actually stand by your side like she says. You got to be that man. Yes, just real talk. Like you got to be that man. And I'm not just talking about money. Yeah, this is past money. This is in character. This is in your leadership skills. This is in the way you structure your life. This is in your results. Like, it's not just money. And I think that's where a lot of guys go wrong. They feel like because they generate a lot of money, you know what I'm saying, that's it. When they feel like, because they done hit $1 million mark or whatever you want to call it, then that's all it takes. And then women is just going to come flocking and all of this. But it's like, we have to remember, I think one piece that we forget sometimes is we have to remember that the man chooses the woman. Yeah, it's not the other way around. Yep. Now, is there a reciprocation factor that takes place from the woman's side? Yes, there is. But the man chooses the woman. The man pursues the woman. The man courts the woman. The man commits and marries the woman. Yep. So if you get with a chick and it blow up in your face, once again, like I always say, you got to look at yourself first. And we just got, as men, we got to own that. This is a risk that you take. At the end of the day, if you want to call yourself the leader, you got to take risk. How you think you're going to get your team to the next level? Like, you got to take risk. So, yeah, I think that's the piece that sometimes is missing. It's just like men got to take some ownership in these situations, and they got to own some of this outcome that they end up running into because, you know, they want to pick up the IG baddies or they want to go flossing around, you know what I'm saying, talking about their millions. Like, you gotta consider how that's gonna play out. If you walk around talking about your millions, you know what I'm saying, she might come try to hit you for some alimony and get half, bro. Like that's what you led with. So you gotta own that. It is what it is. Well, let me come back to the panel. I'm gonna shut up for a minute, man. Beatboxer, Civil, JR, Coco. Go ahead, Beatboxer.
Yeah, I'm just gonna mirror what Vince said because I don't want to hear that from Tyrese. I'm tired. Like I don't like it when men choose the worst women and then talking about, well, these women need to do better. No, nigga. Sorry. No, bro. You need to do better. Like I really didn't mean. I just really get mad when dudes do this. Like it's really annoying to me. We see the woman you picked. We all know as men, she's for the streets. You married her. Then she took all your money. We saw you crying and boo-hooing. We don't care. We don't care, bruh. Now you're on Kurt Franklin talking about what you just looking at me? Yeah, because you didn't pick the right person. It'll be one thing if you pick like an Angela Bassett type of woman, right? Who I can't, as a standard, especially for black women, attractive, very stoic. You don't hear anything bad about her. Like nothing. Like these guys ain't picking that. They're picking women that get passed around and then marry them. So, you know, I don't know. I just think guys like Tyrese too also are like tricks. They're walking, talking tricks as well. So, dude, just stay single, pay to play because you're kind of lame, and just do it that way. Just because money does not unlame guys, and it just shows we see that every day. We say that all the time. So I don't care what Tyrese got to say about marriage, women, none of that, dude. Like, miss me with that.
I know you want to respond, Cole. Hold on, Civil. I know Cole want to respond. See it on her face. Go ahead, Cole.
So I'm responding, but not really to. I'm not paying attention to the messenger. I'm paying attention to the message.
I got you. Go ahead.
So to the message, is there some validity in what was said?
No, there is. My opinion, there is.
I don't think there's no validity. Because we have this fantasy that somebody gonna come in and know everything and do everything, and maybe she's having some issues too, and she's not in a place to be able to speak over you and cover you, and we get so fantasized about marriage and love and I want a man that's gonna know how to lead and he's gonna know everything and every no, we're human. People are gonna fail you most of the time. So him talking about I want to know that's gonna know exactly what to say, you setting yourself up for failure. And that's what's wrong. People set themselves up for failure because they have this unrealistic fantasy view of what somebody is going to do. And when they don't do it and they disappoint, now it's, oh my God, I done married the wrong person and they switched up. And this, what he's saying was this whole fantasy Cinderella. I was like, are you serious? I don't know, and I think I'm pretty smart. I don't know everything to say. I don't have all the answers. I'm going to tell my wife I'm going to know everything. I'm going to be able to fix all your fucking problems. You better go to God. That's why probably his relationships have failed. He got somebody who wasn't equipped to do what he wanted to do. So when he come to her with all that, and her thing was, when we going to Gucci? I got to get this dress for this. She don't care about your problems. I married Tyrese, them your problems.
Okay.
I'm just here to be pretty. That's what you got. I'm here to be pretty.
Oh, no, wait. I'm sorry. Civil.
I'm here to be pretty.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you. Go, yeah, let me come down to Silver. I know Silver came off too. Go ahead, Silver.
So actually, I agree with Vince and with Cole. I think the message in itself, it's a good message that does need to be promoted, and regardless of who says it, that does push it in the actual algorithm, so that message can help change people in terms of thought processes. But what I agree with Vince is what he's saying is hollow, because what he's talking about is the end result. He's talking about the finish line without the work that actually is needed in order to put yourself in a situation for that. Everyone, he can hear Tyrese saying what he's saying and see that he's just basically saying what he needs to say to make himself look better and feel better and victimize himself, versus actually taking the steps that are necessary, putting the work in so that he can actually find someone who will bring him those type of attributes and be deserving of somebody with said attributes. The one thing that the internet has done is it's made us all have the opportunity to connect and talk with each other. Like, I'm in Southern California, also in the mountains, also dealing with bears. I wouldn't put my business out there in terms of what type of financial record I have, but a lot of times what we end up doing is we end up getting caught up in the end and what the result is versus the work that's necessary to get there. And it's really, really great to have this idea of the way the world is and the way the world should be. But there's what's real, and then there's how we feel about something. And Tyrese, I've had the opportunity to meet him on several occasions. He's just somebody who's also like everybody else. They're lost. And just because we see them on TV, just because we see them in movies, we have this idea that they know so much more and that they're so much more well prepared for the world. But the reality is, the place he grew up in, Compton, was not a good place. He did not have those positive role models. And it's basically playing out in real time when you look at the results that he has in his life. And we as people, we need to help each other. And I'm not even just talking about Black people. I mean, just people. We need to take the time to help each other, hear each other, and try to heal each other. And I'm someone who's closer to Gnostic. I'm someone who's closer to being secular. I'm somebody who's closer to an independent. But at the same time, the reason I can go on any side and have a discussion with anyone is because I like to take the time to see where that idea and that thought process came from. And for somebody like Tyrese, because he's the one that we see that is championing this idea without the results, it makes it seem as if it's something that's impossible to actually obtain. And it pushes us as a people further away from the actual reality of what we want. And, like Vince mentioned, he gets the girl that wants to be an Instagram model, that wants to be online, that wants to get the attention because she's lacking something on the inside. She's lacking that true attention. Like, my wife is not really online. That's because she gets that attention from me. She doesn't have to get it from somewhere else. And that's just something that we're missing. Like, we're missing that with each other. Like, we want connection. The entire reason I'm a part of this panel is I also want to have connection with other people so that we can espouse these ideas and stop where this world is headed right now, because it isn't heading anywhere good. And I'm not religious at all, but I can see that there are a lot of books of faith that will basically say that this is getting closer to the end times than it is to the beginning times. So that's just my piece on that real quick.
Facts. Facts. All right, Coco, I didn't know if you wanted to say something. You want to say something? You good?
Yeah, I was gonna just kind of piggyback on Kenyana's comment. That's why the messenger matters, though. I'm not saying that there wasn't a few valid points, but even a broke clock can be correct twice a day. So while I agree with the overall sentiment that Sybil shared, I think that's why we have to have multiple voices. We do need to have multiple voices and multiple perspectives, right? I'm never going to be that perspective. I'm never going to be the perspective that is middle of the road. I'm never going to be that. I'll listen to you. I'll hear you out. But you come to me when you want to know the right way. You don't come to me when you want me to placate you, babysit you, hold your hand, cuff you, hug you, kid glove you. I'm not going to do that with you. I'm not. I'll hear you, but I'm not going to do that with you because we got too much of that. That's the problem. Nobody wants to be held accountable. Nobody wants to hold anybody accountable. Everybody's PG, everybody's PC, everybody wants to be, they want to be talked to. They don't actually want you to actually counsel them. They don't actually want wisdom, and they definitely don't want godly wisdom. They don't want that, right? They want to believe that God exists, but they don't want to have to serve him. They don't want to have to be held accountable to him and his laws, his principles, and his commandments. They don't want that, right? And listen, do what you do. But like I said, don't come to me for that. Because if you come to me, we're going to the cross. That's where we're going. Okay? Because at the end of the day, I know what's real. He don't talk to you. He talks to me all the time, every day. So the thing is this, like, I cannot take advice from someone who is continuing to make poor choices. It's not like you're making poor choices and then you're going to seek counsel to understand where am I going wrong? What could I do? Like, because Sybil is right. Like, it's a process. We don't all come out the womb automatically knowing what to do. We don't all. That's very, very true. But at what point do you get tired of running the hamster wheel and getting the same results? And do you say, hold on, wait a minute. Like, what am I supposed to actually be doing here? Like, we can't keep doing that. Like you guys pointed it out, right? Like in his case in particular, unfortunately, because his life is public, right? He married a woman who maybe he thought she was somebody else. I don't know. Maybe he thought she was something else. But whatever it was, I don't know. I'm trying to benefit of the doubt here. I don't know. Okay. But she turned out to be exactly who she is. Okay. And now he's dating another version of that. So it's like, man, that situation that you just went through didn't teach you anything? Like, you didn't learn anything from that. I'm sorry, I can't even feel bad for you. You literally was in tears in front of all of us about how horrible it was. And now you put yourself right back in the same type of situation. And I'm supposed to take marital advice from you? I'll pass. No, the messenger absolutely matters. And I'm going to speak to my community because we're talking about Black people. Black people, stop falling for it. Stop falling for it. Stop letting the deacon, the pastor, the bishop, the reverend. Yep, them too. All Christians are not created equal, by the way. Stop letting them people lead you poorly. A lot of y'all don't want to hear this, but ladies, a lot of the reason why y'all single is because of pastor. Pastor gonna help y'all stay single. He gonna help y'all stay single because it's in his best interest too. Please know that. So stop listening to all of these people that don't have, there's no proof. They can't bring you any evidence that anything that they're telling you actually worked for them. But then when people do come to you, like myself and some of the others on this panel, because everybody on this panel has a perspective to share that's valuable. But then when we come to you to try to tell you, you don't want to hear from us because we're not saying what you want to hear. You want your ears tickled. That's what you want. And I'm just not going to do that for you. You're muted.
No, I got it. My bad. I'm over here on mute. All right, cool. Appreciate that. So we're gonna keep it going. I got one for the fellas, and then I got I think Vince got the last one. Then we gone. So this for the fellas right here. Fellas, watch this video right here.
Damn, hey, your face card valid. I never. Damn, hey, your face card valid. I never hit decline. See, that made you smile. What's your name? Sunny. Let's shine together. Let's shine together, Sonny.
Oh my God.
I'm making you laugh though. I do play. Hell yeah, man. My name Hubert. But they call me Hubie though for short though. I was trying to get your phone number so we can hang out or something.
Okay.
Let me take you out to eat. Let me take you out to eat.
Where you trying to go?
Huh?
Where you trying to go?
We can go like Nobu or something, get some sushi.
You wanna go to Nobu?
Nobu.
For a first date?
Yeah, why not?
I don't know. I feel like that's a little bit too much. You can go to like, have you heard of this place called Chicago Pizza?
Chicago Pizza, yeah, I know what they're talking about. You can watch the game up there.
Yeah,
watch the game up there. You want to go there?
Yeah, I mean, we can save Nobu for like, a second.
That's cool.
All right. So, yeah, shout out to I know he called himself Hubert, right? So this is technically not technically a skit. So he goes around with his glasses. I know you guys have probably seen him before. He walks up to celebrities and he'll be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Or you Mike Tyson, but it'd actually be Evander Holyfield. You know, he do stuff like that, right? So he walked up on this girl in the store. She doing what she do. You know what I'm saying? He talking to her, having a little conversation. But the comments on this particular video went crazy. Fellas was going crazy in the comments. So I want to present this question to the fellas. Here we go. Here we go already. Donovan said, nice demeanor. Okay, appreciate that comment. He also said, nice energy. Okay, appreciate that. So I'm coming to the fellas. I got a question. So fellas, if you approached a lady in a store, when, you know what I'm saying, going to get the number, do what you do. You told her, asked her, you know what I'm saying, let me take you out on a date. And you told her, I'm trying to come up with something that we will recognize. You told her you was going to take her to Roof Chris. And she came back and said, no, we ain't got to go to Roof Chris. You know what I'm saying? That's a little bit much for a first date. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to Chili's for the first date and chill out. What's your response for this young lady? What category do you put this young lady in? Is these cool points? I need to know how y'all looking at this lady based on her response in the video. How y'all look? Go ahead, Vince.
Clay,
what's up?
That's so funny. Me and Remy's first date was Chili's over there on the hill in Dearborn.
I got you. Yeah.
That's our first date. She gave good energy. I think it was cute. I think it tells a lot about her. I think she's saying, okay, you ain't got to do all that. You know, because a lot of guys, you know, they do try to come in hot and heavy. She's a pretty girl. She's probably used to nice things. Right. But you can tell that she just really just want to get to know you, maybe. You ain't got to impress me right off the bat like that. So I thought it was cute.
Okay. All right, I appreciate that right there. B-Boxer, what you say, man? How you looking at this?
Yeah, any woman that will say like, hey, you don't have to do all that, and let's do something a little less. Listen, that's marriage material to me. That's how my wife did me too. We were friends a little bit first before we started really dating like that, but we went to like a kind of like akin to a Red Lobster where I went to school in Baltimore County. And then she said, I got the next date. I got you. Right. So things like that where like the reciprocity is there and the energy is there, man. Like that's all it really takes for you ladies. Like it don't take much for a man to be like, ooh, this is probably going to be my wife. That's literally what I thought. I was like, she's probably going to be my wife. So that's how I feel about that. So.
Okay. Appreciate that right there. Civil, what you say, man? How you looking at this?
100% agree. Initially when I was out there and I was playing the field and whatnot, what I would do is I'd approach a woman in a way to see the response I got, and then based on the response I got from her, then that was the category she would kind of get filed in. And a young woman that would respond with, no, we don't have to go to some place like Nobu. We can go to this nice little chill spot and enjoy ourselves so we can get to know each other. That's telling me that I'm giving the wrong bait. I don't need a bait with money. I just need to be myself, because this is somebody who is genuinely or potentially genuinely interested in getting to know me. And I think that's kind of the folly of a lot of dudes that get caught up in the red pill. They think they make the money, you show the money, but they forget that if you're baiting and you're hunting something and you're baiting with only money and that's what they're interested in, and then you complain about the fact that they take it from you when they marry you and get divorced, you literally are looking for it. You're looking for that failure. So, I mean, that young lady would get nothing but the most respect from me, you know, and if I'm not looking for something serious, I would more than likely disengage and disconnect and let her know that I'm probably not the person that should be talking to you right now.
Okay. Appreciate that right there. I got that. Appreciate it. JR, what you say, man? How you looking at this young lady based on her response, man?
Yeah, now her response, yeah, now it was cute, man. It was cute. Yeah, wifey. Yeah. But initially from the video, I just started laughing. I was thinking like, yo, boy, you're shooting too high, man. You gotta start low with the bid. Yeah, you gotta start low. You can't like who starts the bid high? That's a silly move. You gotta start with a low bid. If she accepts, thank you. If she doesn't, then you negotiate. He just shot too high.
Interesting. Okay, I hear that. But yeah, so the fellas in the comments, they are in alignment with what you guys are saying. And it really triggered me to bring this to the panel, because I'm like, man, has it gotten so bad out here to where men are really refreshed to encounter a young lady that's like, you know what, we ain't got to do the Nobu thing, like, you know what I'm saying, let's go to the little chill spot, you know what I'm saying, let's go kick it, you know what I'm saying, we can do some Nobu stuff, we can do some Roof Chris later, like, let's go, this is the first date, like, let's go kick it, see what's going on, see if we feeling each other before we even go down. And she said it point blank, you know what I'm saying, we can save Nobu for later. So she already kind of showing you a little love anyway, because she like, it's gonna be another date. You know what I'm saying? So she already showing you a little love anyway. But it's like the comments was full of fellas, and it's like fellas was blown away that she shot down the Nobu, and like, let's go just kick it and chill and get to know each other. And I'm just like, man, is it? I know we talking marriage tonight, and us not, you know what I'm saying, us struggling with marriage and this concept, but it's just like, has it gotten this bad? Has it gotten this bad that we are blown away that she said, you know what, let's just slow this down and let's just take it like this and see how it go? Like, has it gotten that bad? So, man, I appreciate y'all commenting on that. It's interesting. Go ahead, B-Box. Go ahead. You come on.
No, I was just gonna say yes, it's gotten that bad. That's all I was gonna say.
Man, that's wild to me, man. If that
Can I
is
ask the man a question?
Go ahead, Coco.
Okay. So on the flip side of that scenario, what if when you suggested a place, she just said, okay. And she didn't negotiate with you. She didn't try to go somewhere else different. You threw out the place and she just said, okay, we can go.
That would have been okay too, because that's what I offered.
Right.
That would have been okay too, because that's what I offered though.
That's the reason why I'm asking that is because is it that we've gotten to this point now where unfortunately men do feel like they have to, maybe some men, not all of course, but maybe some men feel like they do have to throw out a really nice place or a really nice idea or a really nice concept because women have now been running, you know, their mouths a little bit saying where they won't go and this, that, and the third.
Now I will say something, Chloe. I would offer that, but if we go, I'm going to pay attention to what she orders on the menu.
Okay, that's fair.
If she ordered the most expensive thing on the menu, it's a no.
Okay.
On our first date, because I had that happen to me one time.
Yeah.
And her thing was, well, this is what I eat all the time when I come here. But you pay when you come here. Today I'm paying. And we went out on a day I paid for it, but that was the last day we ever been on.
Yeah, because
she ordered the most expensive thing on the menu on the first date. And a drink. And it wasn't me being cheap. I was just like, that was just real inconsiderate.
No, I agree. Okay, so I think proper etiquette for that. I think proper etiquette for that is
Go medium.
if a man. Well, yeah. Well, I follow the man's
Go
lead.
midway.
Yeah, like I follow the man's. Like if he wherever he. I'm that woman that wants men to take the initiative. I want you to go ahead. You pick a place. I don't. It's fine. Wherever you pick is fine. So if you say Chili's, okay, we're going to Chili's. If you say Noble, okay, we're going to Noble. I'm assuming that you threw out Noble because you like going there and that's where you want to go. And so you're suggesting it because you want to take me too, right? So I'm going to just go along with whatever you offer because first of all, I don't know your pockets. I don't know the scenario. So whatever place you throw out, I'm just going to say, okay, because I want to go on the date. I'm not going to negotiate it with you because you're choosing. The man is choosing. So I'm going to let you be the man and I'm going to let you choose. And then when we get there, I'm going to follow your lead as to how the night should go. So if you order steak, I'm not saying I'm going to order a steak, but then that lets me know that, oh, he's spending money tonight. So I can get a decent priced meal.
Oh, come on.
Because I'm following his lead. But if you get in there and you order a salad, I'm getting a salad too, baby. If you say, can I have a salad with a glass of water? We both gonna have salads and water. Because I'm not about to push the limits of your budget. I don't know what your budget is. And I think that's rude, right? You're taking me out, but the point is for us to get to know each other. So if you order a salad, I'm order a salad. If you order a steak, I'm gonna order something that is comparable to whatever you. If you don't drink, I probably won't drink. If you decide to have a drink, okay, maybe now I feel comfortable to have a drink. I'm gonna follow your lead. I'm gonna do that because that I feel like that's appropriate, right? I just wanted to ask that because we're in a climate now where unfortunately women are taking advantage in some cases of men. And I just wouldn't want that to be a thing where if the woman doesn't say, oh no, you don't have to take me to, Ruth Chris, we can go to, Longhorn or whatever. Like, I don't know. But I'm like, what if she doesn't do that? Like, what if she's just like, okay, yeah, I'll go to Noble with you. Like, is that okay too? Or what is it? Because the girls want to know, what are they supposed to be? What are we supposed to be doing to get a date in 2025?
Yeah, no, that's fine. To Vince's point, I said if I come out the gate and I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, we can go and slide over here to Roof Chris, get these steaks and get these crab claws. Then if you like, okay, that's fine. Yeah, but I think that for a lot of the fellas, I said because I was reading through the comments, for a lot of the fellas, when she shut that down and said we can go to this Chicago pizza and basically kick it, it's like that spoke volumes for her. Like that was a huge selling point for her. And it, like I said, it just showed a level of consideration. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was that's what took her a long way. You know what I'm saying? Folk, fellas was even saying that it even made her more attractive. Like the fellas was they was excited, like they had never seen that before. And that's why I asked the question, has it gotten that bad? Like has it got that bad out here in the dating space to where, I'm saying, the fellas just is like, man, I don't even want to mess with it. Then it's like you come across one like her and she come off genuine, like, no, we ain't got to go ball out. Like, let's just go kick it, you know what I'm saying? Grab a couple little, sex on the beaches and call it a night. And you like, oh, for real? Are you cool like that? Then it's like, oh, okay, for sure. Let's go do that. And you can get as many drinks as you want. We about to go in and turn up then since you on that. So yeah, that's really where I was going with it. But yeah, a lot of the fellas, I appreciate y'all response. Like I said, it aligns with what a lot of the fellas were saying in the comments. And like I said, just to the ladies, better yet, to Beatboxer's point, it's not that hard. Yeah, but it's not that hard. Like I said, it's really kind of simple, actually, if you think about it. Like reciprocation, respect, consideration for what he got going on with his, what his pockets may be looking like, to Coco's, the points that Coco was just making. It's like those small things can go such a long way. And it's like while ladies is out here talking about they can't find a man and they can't find a man to take them out on a date and all this, It's just like, take note. It's simple things that can be done. You know what I'm saying? And guys will be like, yeah, let's go and get out here and do what we do. So I just wanted to put that out there real quick. I thought that was a good video. I got this last one that Vince sent over here. I don't even know what's behind this. I don't know what's behind this, but we about to see what this
be talking.
Is.
And so the latest be talking. And so the latest rumor about you is that you are having a baby. And I want to know what, if anything, you want to share about that with the class.
Well, yes, I am. I'm having a baby with my boyfriend, Stefan Diggs.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. How are you feeling about that? And that this will be baby number 4 for you, Cardi.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm actually I'm excited. I'm happy. I feel like I'm in a good space.
Okay. So Vince, I know that came in your sin, man. So what you where are you going with this, man? Come on off mute, man. What you thinking, man?
Did she seem happy to y'all?
In my opinion, I don't think she was. I think she got caught off guard, so she had to give the quick response. Yeah, she didn't seem happy to me, in my opinion.
And that's just nasty work. Her child with her husband is only 1 year old. And yes, I think she's still legally married. And the comments was, and this is why it's over. We you know what me and Beatbox I say all the time. 80% of women were in the comments. She got enough money. She can take care of all them kids. That if that's what make her happy, if she got enough money. If he there, if he ain't there. This was most of the comments.
Yeah, I saw that.
There was a time where you would be a little ashamed to do something like that. But now it's just, and then it's like, it is really over for our culture. It is really absolutely over. Men have become a non-factor in the home. We just have. We've become a non-factor. It's all, say it ain't money, but then it's money. And we've come to understand that these broken homes are creating horrible adults. Our kids are on more medicine. Our kids need more therapy. Our kids are more broken. They crying every day because daddy wasn't around. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to deal with emotions. But people don't want to talk about that specific thing that's happening in our community. And they're thinking that this money, and most people don't have no money. This was some ghetto shit she did. That was ghetto.
Yeah.
So you jump from a ex-husband to have, and then this guy got like 2 other kids on the way, and he got like 5 other kids, and just because you got some money, it's gonna be okay. I mean, and they were serious. I'm happy for you. Go, girl.
Yeah, you know what, Vince, though, man, this will be my question to this, though. I know you were saying, Lester, this is not to, contradict anything that you just said, but I'm starting to look at this a little differently. And what I mean by that is, I know we're saying that the men are out of the situations, or essentially missing from the situations. But I'm actually starting to feel like they coming into the situations. Yeah, what I mean by that is even in this situation right here. So this is a young lady. I know we're talking Cardi B right now. So she is married to Offset. They've got kids or kid together. She's still legally married. If this is my understanding, drop a comment, correct me if I'm wrong. She's still legally married. She's now with this other guy, Stefan Diggs, or whatever his name is. Now she's, according to her, pregnant with his child. And I'm questioning now, are the men actually missing? Because I'm like, it almost seems like these fellas is lining up. Like she's a whole wife, mother with kids. And it's like, and you laying up with her, having a kid with her. So now you done lined up. Now you having a kid with her as well, while she's still married to some other guy. Her guy is out doing whatever, her ex-husband, or well, still her husband. Her husband is out doing what he doing with other chicks and whatever. She over here messing with other dudes, getting pregnant by him. And I'm just like, the fellas is still lining up, even though you seeing the situation. Because I'm just be honest with you. Like, if I come across a young lady, she married to some other dude, I'm not about to lay up with her, and definitely ain't about to have no kid with her. But it's like these dudes, money, no money, they lining up. It's almost like cats still, it's almost like it's still a childhood crush, man. I'll give anything to get lay up with Cardi B and have a kid. It's like these cats still lining up. So I'm like, is it really that the fellas is missing in action? Like they not in the equation, or is they lining up just to be a part of the nonsense?
I think they just want sexy. I'm pretty sure if he could choose, he probably would say, I wouldn't want a child with Cardi B. Probably any of his kids. If he can go back and erase them, he probably would. That's just the truth. I think people just want to have sexy. They're irresponsible, and he just had no DD. He got tens of millions of dollars. He a young guy. I could be a baby over here, baby over there. I ain't got to be a daddy to none of them. He probably didn't have no daddy.
Right.
That's the culture, ain't it? Baby mama, baby daddy. Just all over the place. Just dropping seeds.
Yeah. No,
and it's sad, really. Because my thing is, people don't think about the kids. Right. Money does not fix parenting. Money don't fix that hole in their heart, when he over there, with the other kids on Christmas. And he done lied and said he gonna be over here, but he got 5 other kids and can't get to your kid.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, man. Like I said, it's mindset. Like I said, for me, it all goes back to mindset. And I'm just like, I don't understand it from either side. Yeah, I'm like, what I'm saying? Some of the young ladies, they just lay up for it. The fellas, because I said, I guess, I don't know. I must be kind of weird. Cause see, I don't like everybody having access to what I got going on like that. You know what I'm saying? Especially a young lady. Like, I don't want everybody having access to my lady. I don't want to find out my lady been with all these different cats all over the world. Like, I'm not with that. Yeah, I look at it, what I'm saying? I look at it like an expensive sports car. Everybody can't get up in this. Everybody can't ride in this. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it is. But I look at these folks time after time, especially in this big money Hollywood circle. And it's like they literally just be trading each other. Yeah, one day Cardi with this cat, the next day she with this cat having his baby. Then 2 weeks later, that dude, he with this other actress. Now she pregnant with his baby. It's like they just be swapping each other out. And that's why I said it's a mindset thing. Even with money in your hands, even with resources at your disposal, your mindset still controls what goes on in your situation. Yeah, but I don't care how much money you got. I know for a fact you're not considering the child. Yeah, but ain't nobody sat down and thought about the child not one time. Yeah, but we heard a little bit of that earlier. I don't want to keep bringing that up, but it's like ain't nobody sat down and thought about the child. Yep, and then to Vince's point, what I'm saying, he made earlier in the show, we be jacking up these kids, just jacking them up. Because we out here trying to, blow somebody back out. We out here trying to, what I'm saying, she thick, so I gotta get it. It's like we be messing these kids up. And then when the kids turn into unproductive citizens, then we be looking at the kid like, what's wrong with you? And it's like, no, this started back when you made that decision off the wrong circumstances. Or when you made that decision not being intentional. That's when this started. So, yeah, man, we really got to look at our mindset, man, and just how we looking at marriage, how we looking at relationships, who we laying up with, who we creating these kids with. It's like it's like we act like this stuff is just gonna go away. And it's like it don't go away. If it does, you can't just erase it. Like it don't go away. Yeah, you got 18 minimum committed. But at the end of the day, when you bring some children in the world, let's just call it what it is. It's lifetime. Lifetime commitment. Yeah, for 5 minutes, a drunk night for 5 minutes. Like it's a lifetime commitment. So yeah, man, we really got to check our mindset, man. I don't know if y'all want to say anything else, man. I'm gonna get us up out of here, man. Go ahead, B-Box. I saw you come off.
Just one thing. I feel a little attacked because Stefan Diggs went to Maryland, and that's where I reside. So I feel a little like, man, why'd you have to do this? Oh shit! Why'd you have to do that? I've been to many Maryland football games. I watched them play. Like, oh, you just him and his brother. They both are just idiots. They both have had children with women. Like they're just. I feel.
I feel you, man. All right, man. We're gonna take some closing and we're gonna get on up out of here. Man. I'm coming across the top and the bottom, and we gone. Coco, what you want to say before we get out of here?
Black people struggle with marriage. Yeah, I think the biggest and most impactful thing that we could do as a community of people. We are a community of people, whether we act like it or not, we are. Is stop listening to other people. Like stop listening to other people. And this is not to say, when I say that, I mean it this way, right? I don't idolize skin color. So it's not like I'm saying, oh, Black people are the best thing and oh, we're so great and all this. It's not about that, okay? But we have a very unique experience in this country. We have a very unique story. And if you believe what I believe from a biblical standpoint, we're important to history itself, and biblical history even. And I think that we have to start understanding that very few people are actually in our corner. Very few people actually want to see us succeed. So instead of using these as excuses not to succeed, because they're not reasons for us not to succeed. We still have the same abilities and talents and opportunities, even though maybe there's some who hate that part, but it's true. Instead of using that as reasons not to succeed, we should be succeeding and we should be doing what is best for us as a people. And that is not always following behind others. A lot of these movements, a couple of which we spoke on tonight, they didn't benefit us. They were not movements that benefited us. They were not agendas that benefited us. You know, feminism came up. That didn't really benefit Black women. It didn't. So the idea of a Black woman being a feminist, I don't even really understand it. I don't even know why you would put yourself in that conversation. That's really not a conversation for you. It never really was. Black women allowing the government to come in and tell them they don't need their men. That's another thing. You should have kept them out of your household and out of your business, because that has hurt us disproportionately. And we're not even the largest group taking advantage of it. Dig that. But it affected us disproportionately. And so I think the biggest thing that we can learn is to keep people out of our business. Why are we letting celebrities and viral pastors and female rappers and R&B singers, and why are we listening to these people? Why? And it's not even like we're listening to them because they have a track record, or they have evidence, or they've shown us something, or we can see something from the way that they live their lives. It's none of the above. So why are we listening to these people? I think the biggest thing we can do is stop that. Stop being so easily influenced. Stop being, romanticized by the idea of this whole thing. Like, I think for us, that's one of our biggest things. Stop wanting to be the center of attention. Stop wanting to prove ourselves or feel like we need to be validated by others. Because a lot of those things that we're doing is causing us to make bad decisions. We're living our lives poorly. We're not prioritizing the right things. And yeah, this is why we don't understand that while people like Elizabeth Gilbert will get on with her. She confused. She don't know if she like men or women or both. She'll get on here and tell you as a Caucasian woman that women don't benefit from marriage. But she's been married twice. So even though it didn't work out for her, she still did it twice. But she's going to tell you there's no benefit for you. It's crazy how we listen to this. And a black woman reposted her. That's how we found her. You see what I'm saying, ladies? You let this other woman come tell you that you shouldn't value marriage, but she married twice. This is why I'm saying, like, we have to stop being sheep. I'll land.
Okay. No, I appreciate that right there. Vince, it's on you. Go ahead, man.
I'm gonna be quick. Marriage is the foundation of any successful community. Period. Point blank. And until, like I always say, until we get our families together, we will have nothing that we talk about on a daily basis. None of this generational wealth, none of this entrepreneurship and owning businesses is coming together. It will not happen until we get our families together. And the foundation of that is marriage. But I'm to the point now is I'm trying to find a cult of people who are married, who want to raise their children properly, and just get our kids together. That's what I think it's going to boil down to eventually. We just going to have to let the other children of Israel die in the wilderness. And we just going to have to move on. You know, I got a 4-year-old daughter and a two-year-old son. I'm raising as husbands and wives. If you got a 10 and a 5 and a 6 and a 3 and a 4, that's come together and they just keep them connected. It might happen, it might not. But that's what other people do. They find their husbands and wives in the synagogue, in the community, cousins, friends, or whatever. We finding our mates at the gas station with a bunch of damn trauma and trying to fit somebody who don't know nothing about marriage or family and marrying them and thinking it's gonna work. And so I don't know. I don't know if we really want to change, because it's really not that hard. But I just don't think we want to do it. I think we want to live in this mess and mire and struggle love and struggle life and having our kids being on medicine and depressed and suicidal and then you can't tell nobody nothing. It used to be a time where the deacons in the church or the aunties would tell a girl, keep your legs closed. Now they sitting up there congratulating, and not just her. Let's get off of her. Congratulating a woman who is literally living in a infidelity and fornication and having to get out of wedlock. And you gonna congratulate that. Just don't say nothing. But see, that wouldn't be proper, you know. Just be like, oh, you having a baby?
You know what it is. You already know what it is. No, I appreciate it, man. You know what it is. Cole, it's on you, Cole. You want to say something before we get out of there? There she go. Go ahead.
And I'm here to the topic. I definitely think we're struggling, and like Vin said, like I do agree that the foundation, is marriage. Now, different types of marriages, yes, but ultimately for those key aspects, still the foundation is marriage. And why we don't prioritize it, I'm not sure. Like, I don't understand why we don't prioritize it. Like that is my question. Why is that not a priority?
He broke us up on.
What are
He
the
broke up a
reasons?
little bit on this call. Go ahead. Try it again. Go ahead.
I'm saying I just want to. I just want to know, like, my big question in the community. Why is that not a priority?
Oh yeah.
I don't understand.
No, I agree. I agree with you. I agree with you. I think it's weird. I think it becomes a priority later. Yeah, it gets a higher priority later in life. I think that's what happens. But no, that's a valid question. It should be a priority all the time, but I know it pops up later. You want to say anything else? Or you good?
No, that's it.
Okay. All right. Cool.
That was
I
it.
appreciate that. I appreciate that. B-Box, it's on you. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, that priority later, I call that the reach back. When if they need help, everybody needs help, so they want to get married. Black people struggle with marriage. I know like a lot of these conversations usually go. We talk about the women.
Thank you.
But
Appreciate you.
I
Yeah,
got
if
it.
you can go out that gate up there. Yep,
Well,
if you keep
hold
straight
on.
and make a left, it's
I can't mute it for some reason. All right, go ahead.
But as we saw today, we have a decent amount of black men that have really flawed views of marriage themselves. And I did like Alpha. I did like his different perspective. But listen, not all the things that women say is wrong, and black women in particular. Listen, if you are what you call yourself an educated lame as a black man, that's on you, bro. We had another guy that came on this panel. He should not be named. With similar circumstances, right? I don't talking about. Listen, there was a decent amount of black men. Your problem is you can't get women to tingle. That's it. That's all. And it ain't and no amount of control the government will. You can make the government force women to like you or be with you or respect you. So you got to fix that within yourself. So I don't. And co-parenting, that's what kind of this is one of the reasons why we're in the position we're in the first place, right? The men aren't in the home, right? So you can't complain about the women when you're not in the home and then you're creating a broken home and then talking to me, the progressive of the group, the liberal, me, say, and I'm telling you, that's a problem, bro. That's a problem. Even I disagree with you on that. I don't know, man. Like I have real problems with black men like that. Your problem isn't black women. Your problem is you. Period. End of story. Hit the gym. Fix your thought processes. Be a little more personable. I guarantee you, your outcomes will change. Or maybe not. Maybe you're just not that attractive. I don't know.
There it is. There it is. There it is. Oh man, what a night! What a night, man. Listen, I know we was talking about black people struggle with marriage, and we definitely do. But we struggle with mindset. We struggle with direction. We struggle with what we prioritize. We got a few issues, man. But yeah, you got to look at self first, man. I'm always gonna stand on that. It always comes back to self first. Once you address self, some of these things will improve. But yeah, man, problems on both sides. It's men and women. It ain't just women. It ain't just men. It's on both sides, man. And like I said, until some of those things are addressed, we're gonna have a problem, man. But the one thing I do know, and I'll close with this: if we keep moving the way we moving now, yeah, we can pretty much forget about it. It's just that simple, man. Yeah, we got to change something. Yeah, we got to change something, man. And it starts with us. Well, man, shout out to Coco, Beatboxer, Cole, Vince, JR. Shout out to Alpha. Shout out to my guy Silver, who was on here earlier. We appreciate y'all holding us down tonight on the panel. Shout out to everybody in the comments as well, man. Like I said, if you haven't already, smash that like button, smash that subscribe, hit that share, man, and hit those notifications for all my YouTube folks out there. It's Kandid Konvos, man. We do this show every Wednesday night. We go live on YouTube and Facebook, so definitely like, share, subscribe, man. Stop being stingy with them likes, man. Stop being stingy with them likes, man. 8:30 Eastern Standard Time every Wednesday night, man. But with that being said, everybody have an awesome night. And we're going to catch you guys next Wednesday.